Do 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 do. Do 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 do. So excited. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. And come on, come on, come on up there now, Dad. Okay, nobody's on here, but that's alright. Alright, hold on. Hello, hello, how are you doing? What do you call it? Paw Patrol fan? I accidentally quit the wrong thing. Whoops. Pull up Discord again. Do at all the meteorologists. Everybody pretty much, you know. Whoopsie daisy. Hold on, y'all. Give me a moment. I'm gonna add the Discord, and then we will move to the next thing. I will activate, you know what, let me activate the chat first. Let me do that first. And then we will start doing it. Hi, I'm alive. Hello, Repsy. How was work? How's errands? How's your day in general? I just drew ahead without messing it up. That's good. What's bad about that? So happy for you. Yeah, that's good. I don't know what you mean without messing it up, though. I mean, that's, you know, that's good. If you mess it up, it's also fine. It's just what being an artist is. You know, messing up is the normal thing when it comes to making art, you know. If you don't mess up, then you're a robot, you know. And we know we ain't robots around here.
TDS test message.
Hello, how you doing, Zen? How's work? How's errands? How's your day in general? Hope it went well for you. Yes, but I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you, official Paw Patrol fan. Hope it went well for, or glad that happened. Maybe you're just a magician.
I have an update on my ribs and my other health stuff. I got prescribed an antibiotic, and I should get the results on my ribs back in a week tops. I got an x-ray.
God damn. Ribs and my other health stuff. I prescribed an antibiotic, and I should results on my ribs back in a week tops. I got an x-ray. Okay, glad to hear it. Glad to hear you got that x-ray, honestly. Okay. Now that we have, what do you call it? Now that, now that I actually have text-to-speech on, let me do this. I'm gonna have a video beforehand just to kind of show the good news, because apparently, I kind of spoiled the title, but yeah,
know the results once they get here.
Yeah, I kind of spoiled the title, but you know, we'll watch it anyway with the title. But you know, hold on, here we go.
Zach Lona, I'm an independent.
Oh, hold on, sorry.
Hey, Mark, my name is Zach Lona. I'm an independent filmmaker directing a feature film adaptation of SCP Containment Breach. And today I would like to talk with you about something related to that. So in the spirit of SCP, we want to consider the community's input on certain creative decisions for the film. And recently we opened up the casting conversation to the 16,000 people who have been following the project so far. And we asked them a cold question: who would you like to see in the lead Foundation scientist role? And they were nearly unanimous. Everyone wants Markiplier. But hear me out, because this is something where you make way more sense than any other name we got. I mean, you're not some name we're chasing for clout here. You are already an SCP fan. You personally introduced millions of people to SCP Containment Breach, and you really know how to make a tight budget stretch on a claustrophobic sci-fi horror production like this one. So given all that, I think this is something that you might find particularly interesting. Our goal here is to give Containment Breach the studio quality adaptation that we feel it deserves, and a lot of other people feel the same way. And towards this goal, last year we released a 10-minute proof of concept short that screened at Beyond Fest and FilmQuest.
YouTube chat, say something.
We are partnered with the Coppola family's Decentralized Pictures nonprofit.
No, they mean
and with them, we're going to be greenlighting additional SCP short films from filmmakers in the community. and iconic SCP creators like
Okay, I'll
Dr.
get to
Sherman
that
from
in a
Site
sec.
42 are already on board with the mission. So together we're creating high-level SCP cinema the only way that it can actually get made, which is indie filmmakers working with the direct support of the community. Because this is the thing of it, you probably already know that the licensing requirements with SCP mean that the big studios will never touch it, even though they would absolutely love to. So we're trying to prove to the
That's already good.
world that SCP cinema at that level can get made if you use an indie film model. And we're aiming high because we are planning for a theatrical first release. So if you're curious about what we're building, let's definitely talk. And if we don't talk, no hard feelings, truly. I know this is kind of a big ask. Maybe not as big as getting thrown around a submarine in an ocean of blood. But either way, the Iron Lung playbook is exactly what we're throwing down for SCP, and we are full steam ahead. So you know where to find us. Thanks for watching, Mark. Excelsior.
Yeah. This is gonna, like, yeah, fucking Markiplier. I don't know if he will respond, but he could be in a new fucking movie already. Okay. I had a friend that really did not enjoy Iron Lung, but I fucking loved it. This time I won't make the mistake by bringing him to another movie with Markiplier in it, but oh my god, like, I am so excited because he could be in another movie already. Like, I am so fucking happy, not just because like Markiplier could be in it, but the fact that this is another indie film just coming out on fucking theaters, bro. I'm so happy for this shit. It's like, you know, Flow already made me like super happy. Like, Iron Lung made me pretty happy, and like, this movie now could, like, it's just another one coming out. Like, we are legit, like, our community is making a fucking impact here, man. I'm so goddamn happy about this, man. I approve of indie movies in theaters. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Like, I haven't seen like, I get that there's a lot of indie stuff that tends to be there so often. Shit, I gotta go. I might be back. I don't know. I got shit to do, bro. I'm sorry. Okay, you're good, Rebsy. You have a good night. Yeah, bro, I am so fucking happy that this movie is, like, I'm so happy that, like, if they don't get him, that's fine, but, like, if they, like, you know, if they don't get him, like, I'm gonna watch this movie regardless, because it's another fucking indie film that's, like, that's based off of, like, this horror stuff, and I'm so fucking happy for these people. I am, like, really, like, all right, you have a good night, Rebsy. Appreciate you hopping on by for a bit. Yeah, I'm just so fucking happy because, like, because this movie is, like, I don't know. It's nice. It's so nice because I'm starting to see, like, I keep seeing a bunch of, like, indie animation do well, and now even, like, the live action movies are getting the love of indie creators, brother. I am so, like, it is, like, I know it may sound like it's the worst time to be an artist because of the AI shit, but it's also the best time to be an artist because all of the fucking, like, because all the corporate companies are fucking up so much that we're able to, like, that we're making a fucking comeback, brother. We're actually fucking making an impact. Our community is doing so goddamn, like, our community is like snapping back with, like, the best shit ever, brother. I am so happy. Like, I cannot imagine, what do you call it? I can't believe, like, all this stuff is happening. Hi, Fox McDoyle. How is work? How's errands? How's your day in general? I am so happy the fact that, like, that indie created stuff is just becoming more and more dominant because corporate schlock just keeps, like, pumping out a bunch of garbage, and now that now that corporate schlock just keep fucking up, and they're now using AI, people are just not finding interest in them anymore, and all of a fucking sudden, indie creators are about to they've already filled up the animation space, like, with their own indie projects, and a lot of people that used to work for corporations are making their own, like, indie shows now that people are watching, and now live action movies are, like, gonna be, like, it's gonna be just a common practice for indie games to be, like, it's gonna be, like, a common practice for indie games, sorry. Yeah, even indie games, you know, like, it's gonna be a common practice for indie movies to start just being a common thing in theaters again. Fuck yes, dude. Fuck yes. Like, hell yes, man. This is amazing. And I'm like, I just cannot believe that this keeps happening. I'm so fucking happy as an artist, man. I am so happy as, like, I'm not even necessarily an artist, I'm an art enthusiast. The fact that this stuff is happening makes me so excited. I am so happy that there is just indie project after indie project after indie project after indie project doing so well. People are tired of the slop, and it's making me so happy. People are doing it with YouTube videos. People are doing it with like shitty corporate like animated like or shitty corporate like movies that are like they keep having like the distributor keep fucking it up because the original writer can't do what they want. This is amazing, dude. Like, I am absolutely loving that this stuff is coming back. I am so happy that it's coming back. Like, honestly. Oh, hey, Color, restaurants are using AI and earpieces to order the worker to clean things. Wait, using AI and earpieces to order the worker to clean things and other work things. Like what? Like, I mean, there was always like a machine that would tell you to like do certain tasks. That's nothing new. Because usually a lot of times what they would do is they would have like a manager tell you every like 2 seconds, or eventually they would have like usually when I worked at Walmart, they were like please check this stock of blah 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 blah, you know, please clean this area, please do this, like do this, do that, do that, you know. That's nothing new. That's just corporate garbage being corporate garbage. God damn it. Of course. Oh, you have a good night, Page Painter. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, no. So that's what do you call it? That's nothing new. Just having like, because usually a lot of times there'd always be like a manager always being like, please, what do you call it? It's like, please clean this area. Please do this, do that, do that. Like they would give you like a million tasks anyway, and like, you know, and then afterwards it was just an automatic machine. Even when I was younger, there was like, or even when I was like in like, you know, first having a job, there was always like just a robot like just saying, like telling us to do XYZ thing, right? Like they're like, clean soda station and blah 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 blah. Please swap out, attention Burger King workers, please, you know, please swap out your chemicals with what do you call it? Please swap out like chemicals with blah blah at blah 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 time. You know, it always did that. It's been doing that since I've been working. So, you know, now can we resume the video so we can move on to the playlist? This is amazing news, but we don't need to dwell on it. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We need to dwell on it more. I think we really need to dwell on it. I love shit like this. I'm sorry. It's not dwelling. It's I don't know what you call it. I'm just happy, okay? Like, you know, I'm sorry if y'all are not into this, but y'all know like what you guys are getting into when it involves like art projects.
IGTV in like 12 minutes.
Okay, you have a good night, official what do you call it? Official Paw Patrol. You have a good night, man. Appreciate you hopping on by for a bit.
And that's fair. Being happy is good.
Yeah, no, like, I'm sorry. I just, like, you know, I like, you know, I get the idea that I'm, like, dwelling on, like, on a big project like this, but, like, like, y'all know what you're getting into when it comes to me and indie stuff. Like, I love indie projects, even when I'm not familiar with them, right? I saw this one fucking video of, like, I mean, it was, what do you call it? It felt like it felt like an old YouTube video. It was like an animation parody of,
I just was exited to show you some stuff on the playlist.
I was excited to show you some stuff on the playlist. We'll get to it, Zen. You just have to be patient. What do you call it? I'm sorry. I know that you're excited. At the same time, I just have to at least give out my opinions on this, unless it's your own stuff. If it's your own stuff, then sure, we'll skip it and we'll move to your project. Again, you count as an indie project, so, you know, if it's your if it's your thing, then, and you made it, then sure. Like, if it's a video that you made, then sure, you know. But if it's something else, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have to, like, you're gonna have to wait. You know, it's only fair. So anyway, all right. Oh, oops. Hold on. Oh, this is like a Michael Jackson video. I don't know if I can play the music. I actually don't think I can play this Michael Jackson music. I'm sorry. I might have to skip it. Everybody okay with me skipping the Michael Jackson video? I'll give you guys like a few minutes. I'll give you guys like a couple minutes.
I don't believe we've watched the mobility test yet, so it was my video. Also, feel free to skip the music. I'm the one who sent it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry. It's specifically because it's Michael Jackson, and I'm like, I immediately know how like ruthless their company can be when claiming shit. So, sorry. What was it called? It was called.
This is a video I.
Oh, sorry. It's called Mobility Test. Is it on your channel? I don't see it on here. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Found it. Okay, we'll just watch this one first then. That's fine.
It's on my channel, but it's a short.
I see. Sorry, you're wide. My bad.
This is the leg of the metal then.
Hold on. Can't hear ya. Hold on. Let me turn up the volume a little.
This is the leg of the metal then project. The Mark 1 suit I have fully designed.
Not too sure what I'm looking at. To be fair.
I thought it was funny when I was wide.
I can make you wide again.
It's plenty mobile. Walk around.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. I'll do it afterwards, hold on.
Run. What?
I'm sorry about the poor lighting.
And I can
You
even
good?
still
Don't
do
worry
that.
about it.
Pretty mobile.
Yeah, okay, so it's like just a little metal thing on your leg. It's kind of interesting that doesn't do like clanking or anything like that. Okay, anyway, now time for me to do the funny meme thing. Hold on. Hold on. 1 second. All right, here we go. All right.
It's gotten a little squeaky recently. I need to oil the joints.
I gotcha. I can't really hear it that much, so, hold on. Let's just, see if I can get time this correctly. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm not going to be able to time this correctly, but it's alright. Anyway, did I do the...
It's all good. It's just for amusement.
Did I do the funny? Did I do the funny? Alright. I don't know if I'm too old for that, but
It was pretty funny.
anyway. 2020, huh? Is when that meme came out. Anywho, alright. Yeah, I mean, what do you call it? You should always be proud of y'all's, indie projects, honestly. Y'all should always be proud of like projects that you guys make, because it's always, you guys are very creative, and I fucking love that about you guys. No other fucking community does this creative, except for maybe like except for like maybe like super niche like art communities, like, or except for like maybe like, the people that are also like in the old internet stuff. Like there's still some creative communities, but I don't know. I feel like we're such like a good melting pot of communities that were, or like a good melting pot of like creativity, that you guys just like, it's amazing. I could not ask for, ask for a better audience,
It was just a mobility test on the Metals and Leg MK1, so I wouldn't say art per se, more engineering.
Yeah. Art and engine, it's, well, you're making a suit, right? like you're making like kind of like an Iron Man suit. It's still engineering, but I guess it's got art in it per se, I guess. I mean, you're making like a superhero. Like you're basically making yourself into a superhero. That's technically art, you know, but you know, agree to disagree, you know. Hold on, I want to see you run like really fast. Sorry, one more time. I just want to see you like run like really quickly. Hold on. Boy can do
I am
like...
basically a poor Iron Man at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you want to be a real Iron Man, because a real Iron Man is like a dude that's like into freaking... Or it's a dude that has like missiles and shit, so, you know. Hold on, you ready? Here we go, now I can make you move like really fast.
Walk around.
I can't make you move like too fast. Hold on. Damn. Oh well. I was trying to make you scuttle like a cartoon character, but I can't go I can't go as fast as I want it to. Oh well. Whatevs.
I be zooming.
Yes. Oh well. Bummer. Oh well. Who knows?
What? I can still do that. Pretty mobile.
This is pretty mobile.
This is a video I planned
Oh,
ages ago and
Jesus.
kept putting off
Fucking Christ. Cartoon jump scare. Anyway.
solely because it just seemed like something impossible to piece together. So for context, this is Sir Fluff. They're a YouTuber that has done animation memes for over 8 years now, and whom you may recognize from this guy if you read all Fandom animation memes between 2017 and 2020. And because
I do recognize the guy, but he was a kid by the time he started doing stuff. How old is this guy now?
of that, there are well over 170 animations to go through. There's a Toy House page with more information. I think there's a comic, but I just want you to understand the
This is also a kid.
pain I had to go through for some of this, because when a person works on something for
Oh, okay. This is the same kid. Got it.
over 8 years, and you look through it after all of that time, there are bound to be pieces of information that later isn't canon or contradicts things. You just don't know. There are several pieces of information I didn't know up until them being explicitly told to me after they allegedly happened via a random description here or a pinned comment there, or just told through a Toy House page. Actually, there's a lot of characters that only exist on Toy House and have never even shown up in the animations, while other
I am so confused. I'm so confused. I'm sorry. This is definitely one of those, like, I'm way too old for this, but
characters
alright.
show up in the animations quite a few times who have just not had their Chekhov's gun yet. What I'm trying to say here is, if there's something that I missed or that I got wrong, you're not allowed to break
There's
into my
some
house in
cute
the middle of the night and
designs,
tell me
though.
that I didn't check the pinned comment on this post on a defunct website that says how many kickflips each of the characters can canonically do back to
Yeah, this person is very young. This person is very young. Not
My
trying to
teammate
say
Black
that...
Jacket made a YouTube channel for his comic. I can send the link to the Discord if you want, since it's an indie comic.
My teammate made a black John. Sure. Send me the video, though.
This idea for
Yeah.
those uninitiated, though, Laudable Corp is a series following Chiffon, an Axel born tiny as they inherited a medical company from their rich father that they brought into greatness, with everyone unaware of the
This is... Sorry, hold on. Animation memes have lore? Maybe I'm crazy, but animation memes have lore? When did they have lore? Man, we are really far from the day of when they were just like animations of like teenagers just making edgy animations because they were edgy, and that was it. Wow. I didn't know. I'm gonna be honest.
He doesn't have videos, so I thought I'd just send the link for the channel.
Okay, you're good. Yeah. Is it only you in here, Zen? Is it just me and you? We might just focus on you then, since it's only me and you in here. And there's nobody else in here, I think. Let's see. Page Painter, Rebzy left, Paw Patrol left. Okay. I think it's just me and you in here, Zen. Yeah. So, maybe we will just
I'm
focus
very
on...
loyal to those who have helped me with things. I'm watching, but I'm currently playing Roblox.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, June Buggy. How was work? How's errands? How's your day in general? Hope it went well for you. I was about to say, I'm like, if it's just me and you, Zen, I probably would just only look at your things. So I would bring it back to the old days where I basically just kind of focused on like the 2 or 3 things that the 2 or 3 people in here basically bounce from thing to thing sometimes. Sorry.
horribly unethical experiments going on in the inside. The only one aware of Chiffon's lack of moral compass being Latte, his emo brother, who's harboring revenge after Chiffon is suspected to have been involved in some
Yeah, I am so old to be even looking at stuff like this. I had no idea animation memes had lore. Like, I am that old where animation memes never had lore ever. It was just
Things
kind
are
of
going good, Jade. My wife gets to come home in 2 days.
Things are going good. Jay gets to come home in 2 days. Nice. Heck yeah. I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Yeah, sorry. I'm just a little thrown off right now because of like friggin' because right now I got sent like a video made by like a clear teenager and then them talking about animation memes having lore that I'm just
sent you the
finding out
link.
now. Yeah, this is interesting. I just kind of, you know, there's definitely I'm definitely showing my age here because I had no idea. Like I was around the day when that just didn't exist. Like I was around before animation memes actually became a thing. So I mean, I guess like, where'd you send the link to? If you don't mind me asking, did you send in art?
I DM'd you.
Oh, you DM'd me it. Oh. Okay. We'll look at one and then we'll move to the video because I actually still gotta be like a little bit passive because I have to also like listen to the video. Oh. His
OMG, is it that one person from Artfight that made a 5-minute animation meme with 20 characters? Alright, fair enough.
probably. I have no idea. I have no idea, Pio Newman. Like, I had no idea animations memes had lore, period. So apparently I can't look at his posts. So I'm trying to look at it, but all I can go is to his homepage and
Weird.
yeah, cuz like look, watch. Like it's on his homepage, right? And I can see these, but then if I go to post, it doesn't show anything. Which is interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Dang, you guys have like your own comic too. What the hell? This is gonna pop off one day. Like I may not be alive to see it, but there will be.
I can't see it on my end.
Oh, you can't see it? Can't see this? Yeah, no. I went to post and doesn't show it, but when I went to home, it like what do I call it? Like I'm looking, I can see the comics here, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, these comics are probably gonna like pop off one day, and then like I don't know. I
can see it now.
Yeah, I'm having a feeling. To be fair, I just kind of don't have much interest in these comics right now. I read a few of them, but I just don't think I'm that invested in the lore, to be fair, like just on my own. I think I'm just a little bit too picky. So it's like, like if I was like what do you call it? If I was like 16, this would go like, or like 14, this would go hard, brother. I would love shit like this. I just don't have the time. I just really don't have the time to dedicate myself to something like this. But like, if I was like 14, man, I would love stuff like this, Like this would be like shit I would be looking at Newgrounds back in the day, brother. Honestly, I'm just not a, I just don't have the time for it. What was I gonna say?
Fair enough. Oh, look, it's me.
Look at you. Yes. Here's like I may not be alive to see it, but like when the show comes out, I will if I am still alive, I will gladly take a look at it. So like I so I what do I call it? I love indie projects, and I'm glad that you guys are doing it. So it's just this isn't a thing for me, but it's fine. Just kind of like how this video isn't necessarily for me either. Like I'm sorry, I just have no interest in axolotl lore. I did in animation meme lore, which is so hypocritical for me to say because I make shit posts. So it's like, and people find my shit posts like interest, or people like watch my shit posts, but then when it comes to like something that has a well animated, definition, well put together lore, I'm just like, I'm not really that interested in it.
It's a matter of personal taste. That's nothing to be defensive about.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, it's not that with this video. Oh, you're talking about your comic. Yeah, sorry. It's just not my taste. I think the problem is you have to remember, I grew up around a time when like superhero comics were so common. Like comics and superhero movies, like every single year there would be like superhero, or not every year, but like every few years, like superheroes were just such a common, like were just like a common movie thing, like over and over and over again. And then we got to the point where it was like becoming meta, and then the meta-ness just got really like over the top, and I just got like so tired of it. And now that's kind of the reason why people are into things like Invincible and The Boys, because like adults just want because like by that point we haven't seen the perspective of like the average person is the good guy, and like all of the fucking superheroes are the bad guys, which would actually make sense in that kind of world that we live in. So like it's just in this kind of sense, like I said, I've seen it before. So it's just
But the characters in this one are real. If the stories told using us are fictional.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying though. It's like I get the idea, but it's like, how do I say this? Like, it's like I doubt that like what do you call it? I doubt I could get into it because of like I read a few of them, and I just like what do I call it? It just wasn't my thing, you know. Like, it's definitely a bunch, like, I don't mean to be this person, but, like, it is just a bunch of teenage boys or, like, super, like, or young adults that are, you know, how do I explain it? Like, being teenage boys and, like, and young adults, like, that have a huge, like, inspiration.
I get the reasons for you not getting into it. It's fair enough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I don't want to be rude. Like I said, I'm not trying to be mean. It like I said, this would go hard. This goes hard probably for a lot of people. It's just not my thing. So, you know, like I've seen a story like this before, and like unfortunately, as you know, I have been very spoiled with stuff like this. Like, and so I'm all too familiar with what this is going to turn into, right? Like I said, it's not, like I said, it's not you, it's me. Like this whole, like, cause what was it? Where was it? It was number 5 that I looked at. Yeah, it was this one right here. Or no, this one. This like banter back and forth right here. Like this I've seen before. I know that you're parodying like Total Drama Island right here, but it's like, I've seen this before. So it's like, you know, I can't, how you say it, what do I call it? I've seen this exact thing, like this exact setup and everything before. So it's like, so I can't like, so I can't necessarily like, just, like I said, I'm not the best judge for it. Because I guarantee you, if it was like if I was like a person that was not familiar with like these kind, like with this kind of trope or like this kind of plot line, I would be, what do you call it? I would be like so into this shit probably. So, you know, so I'm sorry. I know I promise. I'm not trying to kiss ass. I'm just trying to give genuine, like, I'm just trying to let you know.
That's fair enough. Overexposure to a type of media makes you less interested in it.
Yeah, there you go. That. Sorry. You know, I'm not trying to be unfair here, so. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna give this video, like, 60 seconds, and if this guy can't interest me, then I'm gonna skip this video.
Some way with an accident that killed their other sibling, Muffin. Now, I usually will go in chronological order of the animations like with Pochi or Hosalt, but with this series, there are 2 primary stories that get bounced back and forth a lot, that being the family plot,
What the hell's Pochi? Hold on, Pochi?
Muffin. Now, I usually will go in chronological order of the animations like with Pochi or Hosalt, but with this series, there are 2 primary stories that get bounced
Yeah, these people are quite young. Oof. Alright.
back and forth a lot, that being the family plot with Chiffon, Muffin, and Latte, as well as the experiment side of things with LottoCorp. So to make sure that I can cohesively tie together a story, I'll be starting with the family story in its chronological order before moving to the LottoCorp stuff.
Plus, I'm fully okay with you being blunt with your opinions on our stuff, and I don't believe that most anyone else would care.
So I'm fully okay with you being blunt with your opinions on our stuff, and I believe that most anyone else would care. Yeah. I don't believe that most anyone else would care. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. People do care about, like, what you're doing. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's very clear that there are people that are interested in it, you know. But, like, at the same time, you know, it's like, it doesn't really matter if people are interested in it or not. You guys are doing it for yourselves, and I think that's a great thing, you know. I've been overexposed to this type of media before, so it's like, it's just not my thing. But you guys will eventually have, like, you guys will have a fan base for it. I know this because it already existed. I know this because that fan base was me. That fan base was me back in the day, you know? It was teenagers just like myself, you know?
Care about being blunt about the opinions, I mean, seems to be a miscommunication.
Oh, would care about being blunt about the opinions. Yeah. I mean, about being blunt about the opinions. I mean, okay. Yeah. No. Exactly. You know, my opinion doesn't matter. You're right. You are correct. My opinion on this kind of stuff does not matter. You know? It's not my, you know, I don't have the right to criticize something that I just don't consume anymore, so I don't look at it anymore. So, you know, it's like I don't, so.
As well as skipping shit posting as they're non-canon, and just focusing on the lore as we get it. Maybe supplementing it with a Toy House thing where the animations don't. So with that being said, let's talk about Chiffon and Friends.
Jeez, that was just the introduction? Oh god, okay. I'm okay with this video. I'm sorry, I'm going to skip it. I apologize. I'm going to skip it. I get that you guys probably care about this. It's just, this person is very, like, going into, like, something that I've never seen before, so I just don't know if I'm
I help
really
storyboard, and Black Jacket does the art in final print.
I help storyboard, and Black Jacket does the final art and print. That's great. Keep going. Yeah. I guarantee you in, like, 5 years, this story is going to be, like, super emotional, and people are, like, and there's going to be, like, I guarantee you if you continue this comic, like, there's gonna be like some crazy shit that will happen in the story that you guys will, like, come up with, and it'll be like pretty fucking awesome. I'm not, like, I already see where this story is. I already see, like, where this comic could be going, and I'm so down for, I'm so, like, you know, I hope that it succeeds, you know, because, like, it has so much potential. So I know exactly what's gonna, you know, how it's gonna start, and probably, like, where it's gonna, like, end up later. If you guys so choose to make it for the past 5 years, but, you know, you only can get better as a writer, so. Sorry, I'm just trying to... Yeah. This is a G.
Family video because Fluff directly explains the video in the description, which is basically a more descriptive version of what I just said earlier. The main character, emo-looking one, is Latte, Chiffon's second brother. Before Chiffon was born, Muffin...
Okay, sorry, I accidentally didn't skip it.
Oh,
okay.
wait, random off-topic thing, but I was looking on Zillow and went to an apartment and saw on special offers it said large closet and nothing else.
It said large closet? That's really funny. Large closet and nothing else. That's hilarious. I mean, fuck it, dude. Like... If
Black Jacket has decided to fully steal the main villain from MHA, but it's not going to be making money, so I doubt people will care about that.
Black Jacket has decided to steal the main villain from My Hero Academia, but it's not going to be making money, so... I mean, well, make your own parody version of My Hero Academia character. Like, make a... Like, you can base it off of other characters. People do that all the time. Just base it off of, how do you say it? Just base it off of, what do you call it? Base it off of, sorry. Base it off of, freaking, make, like, an original character that's, like, a parody of a My Hero Academia character, you know? As they can be a main villain, just make them similar, you know, instead of, like, you know, make them still have a similar design, but just change it a little bit. Because eventually you can make that villain into your own character later.
What the fuck are we doing here? Seriously, you have had months.
Wait. Oh shit, okay, hold on. What's going on? Also, why is Batman here? Hold on. Sorry, I need to, like, slow this down.
Prepare.
I showed it to my wife and said, OMG, hon, we should get this. It has a large closet, and got a large closet, and yup, that's it, just a closet.
Damn if this is outside decorum. People
That's really funny.
Because he's Batman.
Yeah, I see that.
are dying on our streets every single day in this country because we allow...
It's actually kind of a good idea that he also did it as Batman, because Batman hates guns, right? That's interesting. I don't know. Yeah, that's really interesting, because Batman hates guns. That's such a smart like move to dress up as Batman specifically as well. I know that's someone in the RLSH community, but that's a perfect like, you know, a perfect representation of like who to have make the speech.
Is federal government to walk all over you. Look me in the eye. Can any one of you go home to your children and tell them that you did everything you could to protect their classmates? To protect
She said yes,
their
absolutely. I
grandparents?
absolutely love the large closet.
I absolutely love the large closet. Yeah, sorry, it was mine. I'm probably gonna need that back later though, because I'm gonna have to go back into it. Badoom ching.
Batman
Sorry.
of San Jose.
Anyway,
The not annoying Batman.
Batman of San Jose, the not annoying Batman. Yes, I agree. Sorry, I just had to go over that freaking the closet joke in the closet joke. Anyway, I'm just ruining it. Moving on.
To protect them? I don't think you can, with the exception of Park. Thank you. This needs to have happened 2 months ago, but you can still make it up and make every single policy on this little sheet of paper here happen right now. Happen before the Super Bowl. Happen before potentially hundreds of masked men come into our city and kill people. I am disgusted by each and every one of you, with the exception of Councilmember Park, that you have not done something more. You need to affirm that no city resources will go to ICE, that no cooperation will be given to them. You need to affirm to the country, to the world, that you are not cowards.
Yeah, no, I agree. That part right there, perfect. That's a perfect way of like of representing it right there. These guys are fucking cowards. I like, you know, I will say it, you know, if I get killed for it, good. Fucking they prove my point, you know? That's the irony. I think that's the reason why a lot of people aren't criticizing these guys, because they are just cowards. They send people that are, you know, they send people that are clearly like, you know, that are like, what do you call it? They send people after others that basically can hurt their egos with words. And those words will remain with them forever in their lifetime, even if the other person gets killed for saying that, you know? Like, we know how that goes, right? It's just, I 1000% agree, bro. If you don't like it, well, go fuck yourself. You know, it's like those words are now going to forever be stuck in your head forever, right? You know, so.
The only thing you prove by killing someone for talking is that you fear what he might say.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like, oh shit, hold on. One sec. One moment. Sorry, there we go. Sorry, my, friend was messaging me. There we go. Yeah, no, dude, like, I completely agree. You know, it's like, and this is kind of the crazy thing. People really, right now, love, like, you notice how, I know that other states are, but right now, I'm going to shout out, Adriela, Gradova, right? She has done so, like, she basically grew a pair of balls and walked at like literally, not literally, but like she walked like to an ice protest, and she stood in the front in the front lines of all of those protesters. I'm like, fuck it, if you're gonna hit my people, hit me. Go ahead, hit me. Show me your violent fucking ways. Go ahead. Luckily, obviously all the other fucking protesters like protected the shit out of her because they didn't want her hurt, because that's like a leader of ours, you know? But she literally walked into the ice raid. Here, let me show you what she did. Hold on, sorry. I'll show you
The
what
Batman
she
of
did
San
after
Jose is
this.
actually the one that sent me on the detective work into the AI security contractor.
Hell yeah.
Because as of right
Glad.
now, I stand in front of a council of
I have a current plan for those cameras, by the way, but I'm not going to say it here. Obviously, you know, and allegedly, of course, you know.
cowards. And if you do not act, you're not just cowards, you are traitors. Traitors to
Badass lady.
each and every individual you serve. To each and every individual that lives in this
Okay,
country.
I'm done playing Roblox.
Legal
Try again, 3.
or not.
Hello, how you doing, Fox McDougald?
You need to do something about getting these policies into writing, ensuring that your officers do not cooperate with ICE, ensuring that they cannot use city resources, that they cannot tap into city data before more people die. Yes, more.
Yeah, unfortunately that didn't work, sadly, because unfortunately, like, how do you say it? Unfortunately, we have flock AI cameras everywhere now, and I fucking hate that shit. But, you know,
People die.
people are gonna deal with that, by the way. Like, because people don't like that shit right now,
I don't think I need to go
especially
into
here.
how many people have been shot, how many people have been taken, how many children have been abducted and used as bait. I don't need to tell you that. You see it on the TV every single day. I don't want you to sit back and watch. I want you to fucking do something.
No, agreed.
Each and every one of these people who came up has been very polite, very earnest, very kind, pleading you, begging you to do something. I'm not begging you. I'm fucking demanding that you act with some semblance of a fucking spine. Do something.
Agreed. Wow. Yeah, no. Good job. Fucking good job. Hold on. Yeah, no. Good job. Fucking, I'm so glad. I 1000% agree. Hold on. Okay. I need to show you a video of Adriella Gravalda being shot by ice. I don't know if I could. I don't know if they have it on YouTube. Hold on. It's fucking crazy. She went out to an ice protest and, like, fucking got shot. Let me see. Where is it? It's fucking insane. She was pepper sprayed. Okay, I guess she was pepper sprayed. They didn't hit her with the lemon ball because I guess someone protected her. Yeah, because people fucking pulled her back to fucking protect her. Hold on, where is she? They probably won't allow to be shown it on YouTube, but this is on YouTube, by the way. Yeah. Okay, let me show you a little something real fucking quick. Look at this shit.
She said the large closet is the perfect space for her 14-year-old self to hide.
Ba-doom-ching. That's hilarious. Don't worry, oh yeah, I guess you guys also had your closet as well, you know. Unfortunately, we need to, like, have new closets. Yeah. Let me show you a little something real quick. I only need to show you a fucking screenshot. Look at this. You notice how she's in front of the fucking protesters? You notice how she's on the front fucking lines, like, protecting her fucking
Badass lady.
people?
Also, Batman gave a good speech.
You notice? Yeah, Batman did a fucking amazing job. I completely 100% agree with everything he's saying. Like, this is what I'm saying, man. This kind of reminded me of this, right? Look at this, man. Like, she's standing in front of the way. Okay, they shot her with, like, a gas bomb. They try to go behind her too. Yeah, look at this. You notice how, like, people are trying to fucking, like, run around her? Hold on. They didn't even show you the fact. You notice how she's trying to also tell. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but hold on. Let me show you a little something. Hold on.
Newest member of Congress talking to agents.
You notice how she's like. You notice how he's not telling her where they are. That's a congressman, by the way. That's a state leader, by the way, like a city leader, by the way. You have to tell them that like, she is your boss. You have to tell her where the fuck they are. You have to tell her you know, everything going on, like, in her district. If she doesn't know what's going on in her district, guess what? Like, you're fucking doing an illegal action. You have to tell her. The fact that she was like, where are they? And he's like, oh, downtown. Where? Tell me where my people are. Tell me where my citizens are. I don't give a flying fuck if they're like, if they're put somewhere, fine. But it's like, they need to, like, she's understanding that her people are safe. This is a fucking leader right here. This is what leadership is. I'm sorry. I know I'm getting into politics, but, like, look at this shit, bro.
Clarification about the raid on West Tucson's Taco Hero, a restaurant she says she's a regular.
Oh, hilarious! They also attacked a Mexican restaurant. Of course they did. Of course they did.
What they're doing. They're targeting small businesses and people that are helping in our communities.
You notice how she's standing. Like, luckily the cameras are in front of her right now, so they're probably not trying to shoot the press. But, like. But it's amazing right now that, like,
quota that Trump has given them.
Grijalva's office tells ABC 15.
Obviously ABC is trying to do their best to not get, like, hit with, like, a fucking, like, takedown from our current leaders in Arizona. They're in Arizona. They're in, I believe this is Tucson, I
with
believe.
ice was not captured on camera. More video from the scene shared by Grijalva shows the
Oh, they had to also cut like ice footage of her getting hit with something cool.
Democratic
Right.
Congresswoman telling agents to lower the temperature and leave.
You had to calm down and get out. You need to get out.
You notice how like she's standing in front of all the protesters? The protesters are trying to get in front of her to try to protect her, but she's like, no. I need to like, you notice how she keeps walking in front of of protesters to be like, no, like it's like, let me get hurt. I have the power. I get that. No, I 1000% get that. Like, I get the idea she is putting herself at risk because like people will fucking attack if she gets hit. Like they know that. They know people will attack if she gets hit because by this point they recognize that these guys kill people. So it's like they recognize if she gets hurt, like everybody's just gonna fucking run at her. Or not run at her. Everybody's gonna run at them. Like they're gonna go after the agents. Like, they're gonna go after these Nazis, brother. Like, so I get it. She's like, she's trying, but I'm like, bro, you're like, I get the idea at the same time. She's got to be careful as well because like the heat is high. She's trying to cool it down. I get that, but oh my god,
from the
man.
front, and I deeply respect it.
Yeah, no, exactly. I completely get it. I'm like very like at the same time, I get it. I 1000% get it. This is leadership. I'm so like, it's just the heat is so fucking high there that I'm like, if she got hit and everybody attacked, I would not fucking like, how do you say it? Like, I would completely understand it. Let me say that. I would completely understand why everybody would go after them, Like, that's a person that you like elected there. This is your spokesperson.
A spokesperson for ICE
Oh, there we go.
disputing Grijalva's
Or not your spokesperson, but your congresswoman.
claims in a statement to ABC 15, saying in part, if her claims were true, this would be a medical marvel. But they're not true. She wasn't pepper sprayed.
Yes, she was. What are you talking about? Hold on. Yeah, she was. Hold on. Yeah, she was. She was attacked by fucking pepper spray. Hold on. One sec. Hold on. She was totally pepper sprayed. Hold on. Right? Hold on, let me see. ABC 15. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna go over to this page for a sec. So, like, Twitch doesn't recognize I'm doing... Where is it? Maybe she wasn't. Let me see here. She doesn't look like she's been pepper sprayed, you're right. Oh, congratulations, Jolo, you are hydrated now. I'm trying to see, because...
Hydrating is a healthy time. Carrot.
Nobody recorded her being pepper sprayed. She's standing in the front, though, and it's amazing. Dude, it's so great, because she's, standing in front of all the protesters and shit. Good for her. Honestly, what a good fucking, dude, honestly, God, I wish we had more leaders like this. Oh yeah, here's the guy trying to pull her back. So here's the, here's the guy pulling her back to be like, okay, so here's the thing. You notice how, yeah, this guy is trying to protect her. That's, I think, the reason why they're trying to make sure that she doesn't get hit with anything, You notice how she's in the front? These guys, you notice how the protesters are trying to get around her? They went over to this side because they don't want her getting hit, which is completely fair, I get that.
One.
Viewer, don't do that. Oh, thank you, Jolo. Appreciate it. Appreciate you hopping on by. Appreciate that. I can't stop you guys. Sorry, I'm a little distracted right now, but yeah, okay, so she didn't get hit with pepper spray. She got hit with a gas can, but I think, because what, they shot a gas can, right? Like a gas canister.
Bits are tasty.
Then,
Carrot.
Yeah. That they are, I guess. Yeah, there we go. They hit the crowd with, you notice how they try to go past her to get to fucking either hit her with the gas canister or hit someone else, but they failed. Thank God. That one was a dud. Interesting. Okay, so she wasn't pepper sprayed. That's good, at least. She was shot with a gas container, though. So that's interesting. Okay, so luckily she's fine. Okay, thank God. Yeah. I guess that people would have been in more of like a frenzy. I mean, yeah. I mean, hey, luckily, you know, she's okay. So, geez, that's scary. I don't think she got peppered.
How you doing, Color?
I'm doing okay, doing okay. We just freaking got a video from Batman, like, you know, obviously having a crash out at ICE, or at, like, congressmen for doing jack shit about ICE. And I was showing one of our leaders putting themselves in front of protesters to make sure that they don't get fucking hurt by, oh, oops, hold on, sorry. I thought I was showing my screen, my bad. I was showing one of our leaders getting, like, putting themselves in front of protesters, and protesters trying to go in front of her to protect her. Because, like, she's trying to, like, cool down the fucking temperature around here. You know? They went to a local fucking...
Hi, all.
Yeah, they went to a Mexican restaurant, by the way. They went to a local Mexican restaurant and raided them. This was a while ago. This was, oh, Jesus, it was back in December. Yeah, but, like, they went to a fucking local restaurant and fucking, like, started, like, taking, business owners from there just because they were Hispanic. So, you know, there were people, like, sitting there. I think that's what happened. The press got there. You see how many cameras are around her? Because they're not recording ICE, they're recording her. And she's okay with being recorded. So I think that's a perfect way, because then you could be like, oh, well, I didn't record ICE. I'm not a terrorist. I recorded Adriela Grivalda.
You know, I've added more song lyrics to the ones I put in the Discord about our current president.
Hell yeah. Glad to hear it. Yeah, but you notice how, like, she's standing, like, the protesters are trying to get around her, but you notice how she was trying to stand in front of it. We need more leaders like this, man. Like, I'm very glad that nothing, like, too crazy happened this time. She got shot with a gas canister, but luckily it failed. But, man, dude. I don't know. I'm like, what a fucking leader, brother. And, like, you know, a lot of people, I know you guys might be mad at me that I'm like, oh my god, she shouldn't be standing in front of, like, these protesters, but, like, that is our...
Name of president slaughtered our Mexican brothers / burned their villages and raped their daughters.
Name of president slaughtered our Mexican brothers and burned their villages and raped their daughters. Yeah, no, exactly, brother. Exactly. No, that's fucking bars, brother. Bars. Yeah, it's crazy to me, man. Like, I mean, it's hilarious that it's like, it's just crazy because we need leaders like this more often, and these people are still like, oh, well, we need different Arizona leaders. We need stronger leaders, bitch. Standing in front of...
I fucking hate ICE and DJT so much, they're so annoying they make me pull my hair.
Standing in front of fucking... Sorry, I shouldn't even be saying their actual names because I get, you know, in trouble for it now. Cold cubes, I should call them, sorry. Cold cubes get freaking, you know, fucking... you know, going to a local Mexican fucking restaurant and yoiking people out of their business, like, to be like, oh no, you're an immigrant. I'm like, what? Hey, are you sure? Is it just because of his name, huh?
Killing in the name of the white man lord / they gotta know that they'll die by the sword.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, I don't know. It was very lucky, like I said, you know. I think it's really funny. The one thing that I think has been pissing me off lately is the hilarious thing that these guys are like, oh, well, these guys are so violent. Oh, the left-wing people are getting so violent. Bitch, that's the fucking point. What do you think is, like, you think people are just slaughtering people for fun? You think people are trying to, like, are defending their home for fun? You think soldiers fucking, like... You know, you think, like, soldiers defended their village because, like, defended their village without violence because violence wasn't the point? I'm like, nobody is that, you know, like, they're just people that are trying to defend their home, and I completely, like, you know, and I completely get it, you know? It's like, you know, we live in the, like, this state is just very much like, I'm very proud of the people of the state right now. They're doing everything they can. Unfortunately, we also have Turning Point here, so I think a civil war could happen here pretty soon. But, you know, for now, I think it's just, you know, people are doing the best they can, and I'm really, like, you know, yeah, I don't know, man. I think that's also the problem too, because she was recently, like, elected at that time. She won an election there, right? And she won an election there, and it was barely before she got like put in, like before she
You are
barely.
IZAN, not you directly. The president. X4 and you're dead. Dead. Dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. Well, here's the thing. To get to the leader, you have to remove their followers, right? They unfortunately have figured that out. So, you know, that's why they're trying to destroy everything that made, you know, that made us who we are. So, you know, I promise I'm not getting like, I'm not going to get super angry at this. I'm just like, you know, I'm just saying, you know, we just like, we have so many fucking
We're just
people.
retaliating, which is just self-fucking defense.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, by this point, you know. It's, how do I say this? People would rather die free than live on their knees. Currently, I have people in my own community that I also have to protect. That was the same thing. Like, here's the problem. All the people in that little, like, all the people in that fucking, like, protest there, too. Sorry, I need to get this dude off my screen, because I'm gonna have some trouble with that. All of the people that were, like, that were there, like, most likely just heard the fact that, like, all of these freaking cold cubes, like, you know, pulled up to, like, to their local taco shop and be like, oh shit, Marcus is there. We gotta drive up, we gotta, like, go fucking, you know, it's probably, like, the most American name. It's probably something like fucking Joe or some shit. I don't know. Or like Carson or some shit. It's like, it's always like a Hispanic dude with like the whitest name, right? And they're probably like, oh shit, like they're going to pick up fucking Carson. We better go fucking drive over to the local like Muncho Taco. Sorry, what was it again? Taco Hero. Sorry, we gotta go drive up to the local Taco Hero and like go fucking
But anyway,
protest
people would
for
rather
him.
not be suppressed.
Yeah, no, exactly. You know. Exactly. They probably heard locally that this guy was going to do that. These guys are just protecting their community, and I don't blame them. You know, if I, you know, there's a lot of like Mexican restaurants where I live. Like if I heard somebody go down to the I'm not going to say the restaurant, but like if I heard somebody go down to like one of those like restaurant, like one of my favorite like restaurant joint, of course I'm going down there. Of course I'm going down there and I'm being like, "Hey, this guy is definitely here illegally." I'm like, all these people that are working here, they're definitely legal, brother. They're as American as can be. Try me. Go ahead. Like, it's like everybody's just going down to fucking make sure that person is like, you know, at least like okay, you know, making sure they didn't like beat the shit out of our fucking local, you know, one of our like local residents, you know, like it's our community, brother. It's our community, and you can't fuck with our community. This is why I don't blame people like in fucking Minnesota? Like, I don't blame people in Minnesota for like defending their own fucking community, because they're like, hey, like if you're gonna take them, you're gonna take them with an audience. Like, we're all gonna know like what you guys did here. So it's like, you know, is like I said, is like holding up a bunch of signs gonna do anything? Probably not, but it will cause enough of a stir that coverage will happen, you know? It's like, I get they don't give a shit about the coverage, but like it does happen, you know? And she's not, you know, and our community isn't happy when shit like that happens. You know, like it's our regular people, right?
You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
Yeah, no. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. Exactly, you know? It's like people forget, you know? It's like, it's only a matter of time, like, you know, it's just gonna be annoying because like so many people are holding back because they know martial law is like going to be abused if this happens, right? Like the reason why nobody is trying to attack people right now or like going after like these cold cubes and like just laying waste to these guys is simply because like, and trying to go by like basic policy is because like, you know, is because they don't want martial law to be put in place right now. Like, it's not because we're afraid, it's because of the fact that we know that it can be abused and there's other ways, right? Like, unfortunately, right now, as much as we don't like to believe it, right now, unfortunately, words are the strongest thing right now. Unfortunately, like, we have to be patient with certain people, right? it seems annoying because a lot of countries are telling us that like fucking Germany, out of all places, Germany is like, hey, you guys are like, that specific group of the annoying orange, the annoying orange supporters are the Nazis. Like, we know that they are because this is the behavior that Nazis had in Nazi Germany. It's like they knew that, right? So it's like, they knew that, like, they have like a whole basis of like, and a whole, like, they have the entire step-by-step thing of how they did that shit back in fucking World War II, right? They have the whole step-by-step plan, so they know
It's a precaution. If we do it the direct way, we get subjugated and suppressed.
exactly. It's a precaution. If we do it the direct way, we get subjugated and suppressed. Well, you cause a civil war. That's the main thing, because like, if martial law gets put in place, civil war happens. You know what's happening in fucking, like, in the Middle East, where it's like, fucking, there's all these communities like just shooting up
Even
each
Germans
other.
say that we're headed toward that authoritarian phase. My family has been through it too.
Germans say that we're headed towards that authoritarian phase. My family has been through it too. Yeah, exactly. It's just, that's what's going on. We need
The war won't exactly be civil.
No, it won't. Well, that's why, well, it's fighting for civility. It's not necessarily the fact that it is a like, you're going to be civil in a war. It's fighting for civility, for fighting for, just equal civility, right?
Heck, Winston Churchill starved some of my ancestors to death, and I say he can burn in hell no matter how popular he was with the people of the time.
Starve my ancestors.
I was making a joke.
Oh, yeah, no, straight up, dude. Straight up. Making a joke. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Let's see. Winston Churchill. Yeah, no, straight up, dude. I mean,
Trying to lighten the mood.
No, you're good, man. You're good. I get you. I appreciate it. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there. Like I said, there's so many people out there that are like, I what to call it. It's just, right now, like,
Every time I see a picture or video of Winston Churchill, I give him the finger. Our administration gets both the fingers.
Oh, of course, man. Well, like, this is what I'm saying, man. It's just like, how do I say this? Our what do you call it?
Replying to Zen the Vigilante, trying to lighten the mood. Much obliged nevertheless.
Yeah, honestly. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, just a lot of crazy shit is happening, and like, like, as much, like, a lot of people are gonna find this really fucking weird saying this. As much as like
It's good practice for de-escalation in more critical situations.
A lot of the people defending, like, a lot of people like aren't defending the left wing. It's not a bunch of left wingers that are all like spouting this, like, that are all like fucking talking about this type of thing happening, right? It's not just a bunch of left-wing people that are doing this shit, right? It's everybody. It's everybody from everything. If it was all just like extreme left-wing people, then it would be like, then this wouldn't be happening. Let me say that. We wouldn't be like we wouldn't be into like an authoritarian like dictatorship, right? Like, we just wouldn't be in a dictatorship, and our own fucking leaders admit that we're in a dictatorship, right? Like, it's just to the point where they know like what's happening. They know, like, what do I call it? Like, it's just the fact that everybody is just so annoyed that the like actual discussions of people actually talking to each other have been taken over by people that are too extreme about everything. That's the main thing. People are just pissed about it. So the only way to fucking, and the sad part about it is everybody just wants to fucking, like, what do you call it? The sad part about this entire thing, people have to fucking sit there and fucking send out the stupid like left-wing talking points to be like, hey, like, here's all the facts, here's all the information, here's everything going on. Like, they have to fucking sit there.
Can you please go back to watching the playlist? I'm currently sick, and not in the right headspace to deal with the modern NZS.
I'm sorry, yeah. I just, sorry, I just want to, let me finish this talking point and then we'll move to the next. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just straight up need to, like, how do you say it? It's just the fact that, like, it's not the fact that, like, left-wing is, like, becoming dominant, or, like, left-wing is, like, is like a fucking like is going more powerful than they ever were before. They're incredibly weak right now. It's the fact that actual right-wingers and actual Republicans and actual conservatives are just fucking like tired of extremists, like just like are just annoyed that extremists just took over like the entire side, that they like all the talking points they had, you know. Because like if it was up to them, they wouldn't have, like, a lot of them agree that, like, you know, a lot of them like didn't want their money spent on this. They wanted like maybe like negative income tax on like welfare, right? Because welfare is usually like used to like de-incentivize people to work, right? And to be able to have colleges like I'm sorry, I know I keep talking about this, but I'm done talking about them, right? I'm done talking about
It's not
the,
left vs
the
right
other
wing
guys.
anymore. It's Americans vs NZS.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's people like right now, if you actually ask like a person that's actually like actually a right winger and actually conservative and actually Republican, a lot of those people,
It's everybody vs the rich.
yeah, a lot of those people would basically be like, a lot of those people are saying that like what they wanted was like negative like cuts on like welfare, right? Not SNAP benefits, not fucking like, not the thing that lets children eat, not freaking like what do you call it? Not the thing that lets children eat, but like the freaking welfare, like the thing that de-incentivizes people to work, right? Or college for like to get like to have incentivize younger people to go into trade schools. God damn it. I'm gonna actually take a piss real quick.
Teleport to the YouTube stream.
Yeah,
Add over.
okay. Anyway, yeah, the freaking, it's like, you know, essentially these people were just like, you know, we're like, how do you say it? They didn't want like cut to like SNAP benefits, or like they wanted like younger people to get into trade schooling, like plumbers, HVAC, construction, you know, welding, like stuff like that, right? And like farming if possible, but that's also like botany pretty much, which is like food and shit, right? Like they wanted them to get into stuff like that, and then welfare to have a negative income tax, so at the very least like people just don't sit on like welfare forever, right? And like, and that would be the way to save like American tax dollars, right? You know, like then you like that's a smart way of like thinking of things. Like that's a beautiful way to think of like like that's actual right-wing talking points. That's actual conservative talking points. That's actual Republican talking points. Like those are the points that the like those
We do
are
have a
the
national shortage of tradesmen since the previous generation was all pushed to go to college, so we need more.
Yeah, exactly. Shortmen of tradesmen since the previous generation was all pushed to go to college. Well, I mean, millennials were pushed to go to college, but none of them really graduated that like, I mean, a lot of them graduated, but like it was such a like it was like half of them, and Zoomers, only about 13% of them have graduated so far. So yeah, it's not great. It's the turnover rate is not great right now. So, you know, millennials were told to work white collar jobs, but that just didn't work. So we need to teach younger generations to work blue collar jobs, you know. It's like, can they have hobbies? Sure, yes, but like, you know, like I don't know, you know. Like, you know, there's so many like good policies that like both sides were kind of like talking about, but it just there's so
Us Gen Z also were encouraged to go to college, but our turnover rate is not good either, and our wallets are vanishing.
Well, it's because Gen Z couldn't afford college, right? I got lucky because I only needed an associate's degree. A lot of people needed bachelors, and like schooling was like thousands of dollars back then still. So it's like it was already hard to do that shit, right? You had to save like a few months of like your paycheck just to be able to go to college, right? And like that was like community college. Like university was even worse, right? So like, you know, this is kind of the reason why a lot of Gen Z want to be like YouTubers, because like they're because they're like, oh well, you know, it's either I go to 4 years of college and have trouble trying to get a job like.
I'm at least okay at almost all the trades: welding, carpentry, metalworking, electrical work, and so many more.
Oh yeah, no, straight up. That's the skills that most people need in the workforce. But like, unfortunately, we just did not incentivize people to do that because unfortunately.
And now one semester of college costs $2,000 minimum, unless you take less classes, which will cost you half.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah. It's insane, man. Like, college just needs to be, like, we just need to... This is such a weird thing to say, but, like, you know, people are gonna find this a little insane, but a right-wing talking point that I completely agree with...
But anyway, yeah.
The right-wing talking point that I completely agree with is that we need to put our taxes towards like, colleges for trade schools. Sounds insane, but we should. Like, the youth is much smaller, right? Like,
at least I'm learning IT skills and about computer hardware, courtesy of my uncle in the field. Bless him for life.
Yeah, I don't like IT, so that's kind of the reason why we're in this mess. Not to be that person, IT is kind of how we got here in the first place. Not to be that person, I'm just, you know. Hardware actually is good, though. Hardware is much better than learning software, so... You know, it's much better than trying to, like, learn vibe coding and shit. I don't like IT, I don't like technology, so I'm sorry. I appreciate, like, you know, it's great that you learned IT, I'm just not a fan of it, so. I just hate all technology, so. But that's, you know, I can respect you for being an IT person, you know. Unfortunately, sorry, I'm going to probably shit on your colleagues a bit. Your colleagues, on the other hand, a lot of people that work with you or that, like, work in your field, they're kind of dipshits to artists, so they can go fuck themselves. Sorry, you know. It's like, you know, not intentionally, it's just, you know. Oh, by the way, like, also, like, the fucking camera bullshit, you know. I know that it's mostly been, like, you know, you could make the, like...
Trade schools are the worst option currently, since if you get an apprenticeship, you learn all the same things, but you get paid while doing it rather than paying to learn.
Option currently, since it's an apprenticeship and learn all the same things but get paid while you're doing it rather than...
It's okay. My uncle hates the current president and the foreign administration of the USA and Israel. He's also the first person who supported me being LGBTQ, him and my aunt.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, trade schools are the worst option currently. Well, trade schools are the best option currently because you have the skills to be able to just say, fuck it, this thing is like, you could pull up like $1 and be like, no, this thing is useless. Let's just start using a different currency. I don't have that kind of power because I'm an artist, right? I just don't. I'm a white collar job, not a blue collar job, right? I mean, I work in like a fucking, you know, in like a fucking Goodwill and shit, right? Like, I work at like a thrift store, but it's like, basically, people could take their skills. Blue collar workers right now could take their skills and basically be
but
like...
You're right, IT tends to turn their back to creative works. But I guarantee you they'll kiss up to artists when they need marketing. You get an apprenticeship, it's just more efficient for your time and money.
Oh, they won't kiss up to artists anymore for marketing because, what do you call it? Because unfortunately they use AI to do that. You know. I hate to say it, but they're just fucking dweebs. They're dweebs that are just dipshits. So they don't need, you know, they're just fucking dweebuses that just don't give a shit. You know, I'm sorry. I just, you know, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but it's like, well, actually, no, I am trying to be an asshole. I'm sorry. I am trying to be an asshole. They're dicks to our community all the time. So I'm like, especially in real life, like, they're dicks to us like all the time. So it's like, you know, like, I don't care for that. Like, you know, they can go, you know, go like...
Not exactly kiss up to artists, but not all IT people support generative AI. I'm one of them.
Not all IT people. Oh, I know. I'm just saying a lot of you guys, I'm just saying, like, I'm in a community full of IT guys, right? I'm in a community full of so many fucking IT
Trust the guy whose
IT
family has been in the
bros.
trades since his ancestors came to the US. It's better to get an apprenticeship.
Better get an apprenticeship. Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying, in general, you guys would actually be able to, like flip over the tables on billionaires, because you guys have the real skills, and, like, you know, like, would it be gig work for a while? Probably, but you guys would also could, like, say, you guys literally don't have to, you guys could build your own community. Like, you could build your own fucking neighborhood, and, like, and nobody could say otherwise, you know? What was I gonna say? God kind of forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, I'm in a community full of of IT people. Like the furry fandom is full of people that have IT degrees, and I know that's not everybody, but a vast majority of them are just douchebags that don't give a shit about art. They have such inflated egos that they have such inflated egos that how do you say it that that even when AI wasn't a super common thing, they would commonly be that person that that was very entitled about their art not being their art having to have really crazy looking artwork and then complain about the price later, and a lot of these guys are we're talking about artists choking the the prices, even though in reality it was about the price that it should have been. They do not understand art worth a jack shit, and and they don't they don't care about us. They never have, right? I mean, how do I say this? A lot of them, yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. They never have. They only cared about us because we made their furry OC with a giant fucking dick and a giant cock. Then we made YIF for them that was that made them look 50 times better than they actually were. They have huge fucking egos. It is partial the reason why I do not care, why I do not really necessarily like the furry fandom anymore. Unfortunately, the furry fandom has been like this for a while, but it was different at the time when they were all younger because they they didn't have a whole lot of money in the first place, and they were still going through college, right? Nowadays, they're all through college, and for anyone that isn't, is supported by some fucking rich ass parent. Literally a person in my community, a person that's in my state right now, they build they're not building friends, they're building followers, They're they act super nice, but then the curtain gets pulled over when when they have all this support under them, and their party was at a fucking exclusive rich people club. What do you call those things? The fucking rich people club thing, that in one of the rich cities. And I was yeah, they were privileged, very, very privileged person, and I was foolish to think a person of color would not have what do you call it, would be someone that was just nice because they because they weren't nice to, and instead ended up being far worse. Yeah, sorry for being that person. I just yeah, these guys aren't the best, I'll tell you that. they're not good people. Yeah, furries have gotten much worse, and burn furs are taking over. If you don't know what burn furs are, they're Nazis. That's not me saying that out of opinion. They literally claim themselves as Nazis. So they're anti-LGBTQ, they're anti minority, they're anti anything pretty much. They think that they're the master race. So it's ridiculous. All the white supremacist bullshit they have. So, Oh, sorry, they're also anti-poor person. Apologies. Forgot to put that in there. I don't like them, A lot of these guys have this massive ego as well, that they're also oh, well, you guys, nothing would be functioning without us. And I'm good. Fucking good. Good. I wish I could just farm my own fruits and veggies and actually have some real life skills. If I didn't need the only reason why I rely off of these fuckers is because of greed. The only reason why I have to rely off of these fuckers is because of human greed. Making the dollar actually a thing you have to rely off of instead of being a side thing. Just saying. So I only rely off of these guys because I have to, not because I want to. Maybe I'm call me a dickhead. I don't care. IT guys' opinions aren't not that important to me. Sorry. The furry fandom I probably already got blacklisted from a lot of, I probably got blacklisted from certain communities anyway because I called them out for being jackasses, because obviously I didn't fucking get a chance to say anything. So, Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know. Until like, you know, until these guys like really start like actually respecting us again, I'm not going to respect them. I'm going to be completely, I'm just like, if an anti-furry decides to like to attack them for being a furry, then I'll be like, well, you didn't help me out, so
I'm mad at Black.
I'm mad at Oobleck. Why you mad? Why you mad at Oobleck? What did Oobleck do to you? Sorry, I know I went from extremely positive to extremely negative.
I made a Black.
I made Oobleck. Ooh, nice.
Typo.
Nice. Love me. Yeah. Hopefully it was fun to. To mess with. I love Oobleck is such a fun toy. Yeah. You know. I don't know. For now, let me say this. For now, fursuit makers also like how you say it, fursuit makers also have these guys like luckily on like a chokehold, but like I have a feeling in a few years there's gonna be some fucking furry that's gonna like make some IT like, or is gonna make some like 3D printed thing that's gonna like there's gonna be some AI generated thing that can AI generate like a 3D printed like head and suit and like shoes and all that, and then like they're gonna disrespect fursuit makers like they do like digital artists, right? You know, luckily here's the cool thing about it. Fetish art is what do you call it, fetish artists are they're crying back to fetish artists because of how you say it, because fucking AI sucks at making, you know, GIF. So that's at least a good thing. I don't know why, it's just terrible at making like, you know, weird fetishy GIF stuff. So, you know, at the very least, you know, those guys have like realized the error in their ways, but not because
I went on Ink Bunny and found some art that was made with AI. I was disappointed.
Really? Ink Bunny bans AI though. They don't allow AI on their platform.
Heads up, but this
Hold on. Yeah, like how do you say it's yeah, I mean like, you know, like Ink Bunny bans AI, don't they? At least I thought they used to. Hold on. Maybe they changed their policy? Hold on. 'Cause they don't let that. Hold on. Use Ink Bunny. One sec, sorry. I'll look it up real quick.
It might not have been Ink Bunny. I don't remember. Maybe it was Fear Affinity.
Probably. Fear Affinity. Yeah, that's what I would call it too. Yeah, they absolutely axed all the baby furs there, so I'm not too happy with them either. That's the very burn furs I was talking about. Let's see. Does Ink Bunny allow AI art? No, because Fur Affinity banned AI art, but they probably just let it happen. That's probably the thing. Fur Affinity has kind of gone down the shitter for a while, so it's not a surprise me. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. They backpedaled. Um... Get probably a numerous art scandal over the past 6 months. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. So, they originally were like... Okay, so they originally were like, oh yeah, well it can be AI assisted, but then they changed it. Where they recognize that, okay, so they recognize that, how you say it, that it just steals artwork. Let's see. Using tools or services that do not make code and models freely available for others to reuse. This includes services such as... Okay, so...
Oh, God, it was Ink Bunny. I'm checking the site right now, and I'm seeing AI garbage.
Yeah. So I'm reading the rules right now. It has to be your own AI that you have to make, like your own AI model. It can't be like Sora or OpenAI or Chat, like, or Gemini or Midjourney. It can't be like any of these websites that basically are just blatantly trying to steal people's shit. So like, if they catch you like using anything that was clearly made by those platforms, you will just be banned. So
Not even AI assisted. There's an AI generated category on the site.
is there? Yeah, but okay. Here's the thing though. Apparently, okay, but let me be a little like, let me give them a little bit of something here. It says the work must be tagged with AI-generated keyword, the name of the tool, and model that was used. So you have to give every bit of information about like AI-generated stuff, so it's labeled AI-generated. If you don't label it AI-generated, they just ban you. It has to also be your own model. So I can, okay. As much as I hate AI and AI-generated stuff, that is the main thing that artists really are on about, right? That's what we're mainly on about, is the fact that like stuff has to be like labeled AI. Because the main thing that we are pissed off about is the fact that there's just stuff that just isn't labeled AI, and like, and they just are trying to trick people and like scam people out of like, what do you call it? Out of art commissions, are trying to scam people like, yeah, out of their money. So, and it says you must not solicit commissions, donations, or paid adoption. So you literally can't make money off of Ink Bunny if you make AI generated slop. So there you go. You know, it's permitted to make money. It's, you have to label it, and you have to make your own model. So that's fair. I don't mean, like, I'm not you guys know I am the absolute hater of AI generated slop, but like, you know, it's stuff that like, now don't get me wrong, could people just steal artwork and put it in their own AI? Yes, most definitely. But like, they're doing everything they can to discourage people from just stealing artwork that is like, from from another artist, right? So that's fair enough, right? Like, it has to be like, what do I call it? Yeah. So it can't be anything that's based off of like AI slop. So they don't allow AI slop. Simple as that, right? So, you know, yeah, so you have to include that it's AI. So, and and you have to give some immense details about it. So good. You know, good. So, yeah. I mean, are people going to be honest? Maybe not, but if people get scammed, then their account will just be banned. So that a person's account will be banned if they scam people. So that's good, at least, that they at least put limits on it. Do I like AI? No, but here's the thing. I don't think too many people would be that annoyed with AI generated slop if it involves like, you know, if it involves like not trying to like have people do it for monetary gain, if that makes any sense. And it's not even necessarily that. It's also like, I don't know. You're doing everything you can to try to get people to not just put slop on the internet that just blatantly scrapes people's data, or like scrapes people's artwork and just steals it and like just uploads it. Tons of people could probably still do that, but at the very least, like, you know, at the very least, Ink Bunny is trying to like stay hands off on it, and like, good for them, honestly. You know, you have to label it, you have to put the type of AI generator it is, you have to freaking what do you call it? You have to like tell your process of it. I don't know. Like, you can't take commissions, so even though I still think that's a little annoying. I don't know. It's being used like it's a toy, and it's not being respected for being like, for stealing people's shit. So I don't know. Like, that's not the worst thing. Because, I mean, if you're just using, like, a bunch of images of, like, public domain stuff, and, like, and it still generates, like, really good artwork, then, you know, or not art, it's not art, but generates a really good image, you know, that technically isn't the worst thing, right? You know, like, I don't know. Like my mistake was putting like my OC in like in Creative Commons, because basically like these AI companies clearly like I mean, they just steal whatever, right? But they've clearly like it's learned off of my OC, and like and because it's Creative Commons, I can't really do anything about it, because I did give people permission to use my OC if they needed to, or if they wanted to, as long as it was like, you know, creative enough, you know, or even if it was just like some teenager reposting my like stuff on the internet, I didn't really care that much about color. With AI slop though, now it's like, now I've completely changed my opinion about it, but you know, so, you know, if you see me everywhere, probably the actual good machines, you know, do shit. So I don't know. Like I said, it's not the worst thing in the world. So I don't know. They're doing everything they can, and they're actually regulating it, and that's the main thing that we were worried about, was just absolute regulation. So, and since it's regulated, I don't have to worry too much about it. So I don't know. Is it stealing people's shit? You know, it tells you not to do that. So, like, if people do it, you know, it's not necessarily their fault. I don't mean to be that person, but, like, people know what ethics are. People know how to be ethical. If people are going to do that shit, and Ink Bunny is, like, an Ink Bunny catches them being unethical and, like, not showing respect to artists, then, you know, then pretty much you, like, you know, how do you say it? Then pretty much, what do you call it? You know, if they're not showing respect to artists, then like, then Ink Bunny will be like, nah, get your ass out of here. So, you know, I hate to be like, I'm not defending AI, you know, but this is a very good way to restrict it the best you can. Because at the very least, like, you know, who knows? And like I said, there's tons of people that have Creative Commons shit like me, so probably, like, you know, like, I'm assuming here's what's probably going to happen, right? A bunch of people, like, that are using the AI, their own AI, they're taking shit from Creative Commons, and they're like mashing shit together that they got permission from artists from.
Anyway, good night. I'm pretty tired.
All right, you have a good night, Zen. Essentially what they're doing is they're taking art from the Creative Commons like public library, and they're taking all that and mashing it together with an AI generated machine. That is something that you got permission to use, right? Because Creative Commons is basically, hey, you can use this, but just, you know, just make sure you credit these people, or at least like you just how you say it? You can use it. Like the artist is saying you can use it. Just, you know, just make sure to like do your due diligence with it. Like try to be at least a little transformative with it. Even then, I've put like a pretty low like transformative like percentage on there. So essentially they are making something new, even if it is just mashing a bunch of our artwork together. It's stuff that we gave permission for, right? Public domain stuff has always existed. Creative Commons stuff has always existed. That's what stock footage is, right? You know, stock footage was mainly used to be like, hey, you can use our artwork, just, you know, just make sure to, you can use like my stock images and you can use my artwork, just, you know, just make sure that you credit me, or make sure that like, or like, you know, pay a license if you're really like somebody that, if you're like somebody that's planning on making like monetary gain off of it, you know, like, and if you're not going to use a license, then, you know, at least credit me or something. I don't know. It's interesting, right? That's such a good way to regulate it. Because like, I've said this many times before, artists would not be pissed if it was just stuff that they gave permission for. Because I've done that before. I put stuff out there that was public domain. I put stuff out there that's creative. Like I put my stuff out there that was Creative Commons. There's like, you know, like obviously shitloads of photographers, like, you know, like give stock footage out to people that are like, here, this is free. It's like, here's this art, here's this photo, this is free. just credit me, you know, just credit me in the, like, credit me in the thing, right? You know, just credit me. Or even then, they could still just take a photo of it and be like, I don't really care, you can use this, right? You know, it could be a beautiful picture of like a mountain, right, with like some snow in front of it. And like we've seen those snowy mountain, like, you know, stock footage, like images all the time, right? Like a photographer had to go out there and take a picture of that and had to like Photoshop it together, right? And they allow you to download that shit for free because like they just want like creativity to be out there. That's what I'm doing, right? It's like I've made backgrounds, I've made artwork of a bunch of other things, and I tell people, hey, you can use this for Creative Commons based things, like, you know, like just like be creative, go out there, do whatever you want with it, transform it, right? Because I know there's tons of you, like back then there was tons of like goofy videos on YouTube that were commentary based that used a bunch of stock footage, right? Like, and that is completely, and I'm completely fine with that, right? You know, I'm sorry that I'm like talking about this so much, but like, and I know that you guys get the point, but I have to hammer this in. It's like so important because like we were out there already. we were already doing this stuff. So, okay, you guys are done hearing me ramble about this. I apologize. I went on for fucking 20 minutes. I'm going to take a piss. I'll be back. I will be back. I promise. Ugh, I'm just going to take a piss. Ow. Anyway, yeah. So, what was I gonna say? Ah, shit. Sorry. One last thing. Yeah. Like the fortunate thing with Creative Commons is also like, how do you say it? The very fortunate thing with Creative Commons is if you're still alive, you can still change like the rules. You can't change it like if somebody already used it like back then, and like your rules were different back then, but like you know, you can change it like from the point that you changed it moving forward, right? Now with my Creative Commons, like, you know, permission, I tell people, I'm like, hey, you can use it, but just like, you know, but like keep the art intact, if that makes any sense, right? Keep the art intact or use it creatively. That's what I changed it to, right? Like you can use it creatively or keep the art intact. So if you're going to cuz that's the thing. It still keeps it where it still keeps it where you can use like what do you call it? Where you can like use my art and like, or we can like download my like a screenshot of my art, or like take an animation of my art and like be some teenager on the internet and just like repost it on like fucking Twitter or Blue Sky or whatever, or like fucking like whatever page, right? Like I don't give a shit about that, right? You know, or if you're somebody on the internet that just really likes the artwork and is like, hey, this artwork's really cool, and like therefore, you know, like it's like, oh, this artwork's really cool and I really like this, and you just repost it, and you don't even like, you know, and you don't like, you know, you don't even kind of, you know, you're not like chronically online like I am, you know, you'll be on anyway. Good night. Okay, sorry. I don't even know if you're still here, Super Chefs. But you know, if you're like chronically online like I am, you know, you don't like, and you just unintentionally are like, oh, this is cool, and then you take it for like your wallpaper for your fucking, for your you know, for your phone, or you like just repost it unintentionally, like
I'm still here.
cool. If you repost it like unintentionally, like like not recognizing, unintentionally not recognizing that you're just like blatantly stealing, because tons of people do that on the internet. Or like, you know, or you're like just somebody, like I said, or if you just want to like, you know, draw the character, go for it, you know. Like if you're gonna use it, like if you're gonna even use me for like an image for like a commentary video to be like, oh, here's this cringe thing, and you like, and you post the cringe screen, like you post like a screenshot of like, and calling it like cringe as fuck, that's fine. Like everybody needs criticism, right? You know, I don't care, right? Like that's the part that I don't care about. Like you're keeping the art intact and you're respecting me as like, you're respecting me as not necessarily an artist, but an art enthusiast. You're respecting me as a person, right? And I can at least appreciate that, right? Because it's like, even though like, yes, even if people have the worst intentions with me and still want to like, and want to say like a shit.
I imagine if I became chronically online and it turned me into a workaholic, I'll start lazily relying on AI.
Let's see, and turn me into a workaholic, I'll start lazily relying on AI. Surprisingly, you'd be doing the opposite. Unfortunately, I've been chronically online for a while. Like, I would be, what do I call it? Like, I've been chronically online for too long now, and, I keep myself grounded a lot, but I have been so much on the internet so often, and, like, ingrained in, like, the culture of, like, internet culture, and seen it transform to this absolute monstrosity, to the level where it's, like, you know, to the level where, like, I very much am probably on the part of, like, the algorithm where it's so deep that people have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, you know, or at least I would think so. Here's the funny thing. At least I would think so, until somebody fucking actually knew who Asmongold was at my work. I can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah, apparently, like, somebody knew who Asmongold was. Like, or like, they didn't know who like Nuxtaku or any of these other guys, or like Tectone was or anything like that, but it's really wild to me that people have like heard of fucking like Asmongold is such a problem that like he's such a problem out there that like everybody is like, or that people in my like in reality that don't consume the internet that much are like talking about this guy, and I'm like, oh no. And like, it was crazy because I asked one of my coworkers about him. She's like, yeah, he sounds just like a sexist asshole. And I'm like, fucking, what have we been saying for years, brother? I'm like, wow, just straight up, dude. I'm like, someone straight up like just said what we've been thinking. Like the least chronically online people call him like a sexist asshole. That's insane. That's insane. They call him a sexist asshole. Like, I can't believe it, brother. You know? Like, it's crazy. And, like, they've been... Yeah, I mean, they've even said that he's been online too much. And I'm like, wow. Fucking wow, brother. Wow! It's like, I am so, like... I don't know how to explain it, but it's just the fact that, like, people that aren't even on the internet that much, that just happen to be like a passerby, like with that kind of shit, like literally talk about the guy in the same way that the internet feels about him. It's amazing. Like, you know, it's wild, dude. I'm like, yeah. It's crazy. I explained to people like that's what like Turning Point members are like, and so many people were like, oh god, is that true? And I'm like, yeah, that's how Turning Point got so popular, was because of guys like him. It's insane. I don't know. I think it's just really funny that that the internet has made so much of an impact on people that like that they know, like, that a fucking streamer is, like, that a streamer is, like, bothers them.
Isn't
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I know I went from one fucking topic immediately to, like, just a much worse one. Anyway. I don't know. I just thought it was crazy, man. I don't know. Yeah. I have no idea. The one thing I'm just kind of glad about is the fact that I also don't have to, like, go back or, like, have to
I thankfully have not really dealt with hates like that.
not really dealt with hates like that. Yeah, I mean, in reality, like, people just don't act like that, you know? That's kind of the thing, but, like, or not don't react like that. Like, for a long time, people didn't act like that, but post-COVID, people really just started, like, acting like how they did on the internet. I noticed that massive shift, and it's like, we need people to be, like, grasped back into reality now, you know? And, like, you know, like, we need people to be grasped back into the reality to, like, to understand that, you know, the internet is just not real
But worse,
life.
I once dealt with a stalker ex who doxed me on YouTube.
Dealt with a stalker ex who doxed me on YouTube. Oh, brother, I'm right there with you. You want to know how many people have doxed me to literal gangs and, like, used me to, like, use my fucking clips out of context to, like, to get me, like, stalked by fucking gang members and, like, just stalkers that were obsessed with me? Yeah, believe me. Like, I know exactly where you're coming from. Yeah. Oh, oops. That's an S, not an N. Yeah.
But given the drama I got into as a kid, I honestly could not care less if my name and address was on the internet.
But given the drama I got into as a kid, I honestly could not care less if my name and address was on the internet. Oh, it's already on the internet, yeah. All your personal information was already on the internet. It's just... what do you call it? All your personal information is already on the internet. It just, you know... It's just there's a lot of people have to do so much shit to get to it, but they get to it, you know. It's been out there for a while. It's just, you know... It's just some people just don't care enough to hack you, you know? I know that sounds crazy, but, you know, like, nobody cares about most people. Like, hackers just don't give a shit about, like, most people most of the time. And, like, unless they recognize that they can, like, steal a shitload of money and whatever, right? You know? But by that point, like, you can, like, contact your bank and, like, the bank will, like, do an investigation. So. Excuse me. Yeah. It's kind of the...
Oh yeah, I'm sure a skilled enough sleuth probably could track me down to those minute details. I once tracked down my high school principal.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you could like, you could probably easily find anybody, you know. It's just the fact of, like, it's just the fact of, like, you know, like, are you able to, like, defend yourself, and do you have, like, a gun? Because, like...
I didn't stalk him IRL, though. I'm not that much of a grudge holder.
No. Yeah, how do you say it? Yeah. The reason why people probably haven't fucked with me is because a lot of them know I have, like, a fucking gun on me. So it's like, you know... And why gang members haven't gone after me? I don't know, to be honest, you know, like, Like it's probably because of the fact that I'm like one of the dudes that are like they're like, yeah, ISIS. It's like, or that's like, yeah, like screw cold cubes, yeah, screw our current leadership, yeah, screw pedophiles. Like they're probably like maybe that's just it. I don't know. Maybe I've just like I guarantee gang members have probably looked at me, like looked at my like probably have gotten like, you know, seen footage of me or went on my streams and shit, and they're like, oh, this dude actually like hates like pedos and shit. We should probably, it's like, it's like, this guy's not worth our time. It's like, yeah.
I wish my family were able to defend themselves with a gun, but for reasons I can't say, we're not allowed.
Oof, that's fair. It's probably, you know, well, I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's just usually anybody that has been like a criminal one time or has done one like illegal thing, like just can't own a gun. It's annoying. They just can't own a gun, period, and it's annoying. Like, I feel like everybody, like, I feel like
the ghetto usually doesn't hate its brothers that much. We all think like real people.
Ghetto usually doesn't hate its brothers that much. We all think like real people. Well, here's the problem. I've been out of the ghetto for so long, so it's like, unfortunately, like everybody thinks that I'm like some like everybody thinks I'm like some like ignorant like white boy, you know, which is fair to think, right? You know, I'm like, I don't, you know, I get it, you know, but it sucks because I like, you know, I genuinely think that like I think gangs like actually have like, you know, have a purpose. Like I've before all this shit existed, I think gangs have a purpose. You know, maybe I'm a little crazy, but like there are gangs out there. Like most gangs have the best intentions. Like they steal shit to provide for their family, like, and provide for their community. They take
Oddly
shit.
enough, my brother turned into that gentrified, yuppie white boy, and he still likes to think he's one of us.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, it's best not to be. Usually there's always a lot of white boys that try to act like all ghetto and shit, but, you know, it's not as fun as it seems, you know, but like, I genuinely, like, think that gang members, like, are just, like, most of the time, gangs just, like, they exist to take from the rich and give to the poor. Maybe I'm crazy in thinking that, but it's like, you know, like, it's like, is there a lot of racism? Oh yeah, for fucking sure, but that's gonna happen, you know? It's because of the community, it's because of like the history that has happened, especially right now, you know? The reason why gangs just weren't that big, like, or why like they just kind of chilled out here
Meanwhile,
for a while.
I'm the opposite. I didn't experience my ghetto neighborhood as a kid, but now I'm socializing more. I don't mind walking through Brooklyn at 1 or 2 a.m.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, here's the thing, man. It's just like, keep saying here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, like, in my state, like the ghetto calmed down. How do I explain this? Like, ghettos and gangs, like, they really started calming down because of, you know, like, Medicare was starting to, like, help, like, children and, like, the sick people and, like, the disabled people, and was, like, actually starting to, like, come out there. And then SNAP benefits were like, if you were in a really poor area, they would try their best to, like, you know, they would try their best to what do I call it, to try to make sure that the children like actually got fed there, you know. And then like, you know, public transportation was like used so people could get jobs in like a little bit more like areas that are a little bit more well off, so at the very least like the ghetto can like not become the ghetto anymore, and let members over there like let people over there come over to the, like, you know, start making their community like better with like better infrastructure, better homes, better businesses, like places where like local businesses were popping up, better infrastructure, right? Like they were starting to starting to have a better city, like a better place to live in, building it themselves, if that makes any sense, you know? Like you start like gang members started reforming because like what do you call it? Because of the fact that like they were given jobs, you know. It's like the fact that they were just able, like families were starting to be taken care of, like they were starting to get discouraged because like they're starting to discourage other people because like they were like, hey, you know, I'm a person of color, and I ended up like, and I had to be like in a gang, and I ended up like having to, how you say it, and I ended up like, you know, like picking myself up and being able to at least like have a job and keep myself going. You know, it's like things were getting better, right? Like I hate to say it, but things were getting
You're right.
better.
The ghetto is a lot calmer and safer. But I'll be honest, I think I'm gonna be part of the next generation of gangs and gang violence.
Oh, for sure, dude. Well, they're turning artists into gangs, like into gang members. They're killing artists, like literally. So it's like, I don't, like, you know, it's just crazy because it's like we were doing so well getting rid of, like, we're doing so well just like reforming gangs and like having gangs just like not have to be a thing anymore. It's like, you know, like fucking the Crips, like the Crips from like California, apparently we're starting to have reform. The fucking Crips, the people that have been like that for, you know, for a while, like have had some troubles for a long time. They were starting to like get some reform, and people being like, oh yeah, well, you know, it's like, hey, we should have like these gang members start being a part of like the whole community, like the whole like state, and like start giving, like taking their opinions and start trying to.
Bloods and Crips managed to sign a ceasefire in the late 90s.
Yeah, I mean, I heard too, Bloods and Crips managed to sign a ceasefire in the late 90s. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's just like reform was happening. Things were changing. People were getting better. Like, it's like, it's so insane because it's like people kind of forget. It's like, yeah, there was a lot of bad, like, obviously there's tons of like crazy shit, but like we were swapping, like a lot of the fucking anti-woke crowd were like, oh, all these wokies, like trying to give these guys better opportunity. Oh, all these wokies. And I'm like, okay, like they were mad because they were like, oh, all these guys are snowflakes and like, and are getting offended over every little thing. Yes. Was there a lot of people that were like these white girls that were clearly not a part of these problems and like bitching and getting offended over somebody that like over something that they know nothing about? Yes. But here's the good part about that. They were dorks. They were fucking dorks. And like, and the best part about it is you could just roast them on the internet and they would just, and like, then they would just stop. I mean, they wouldn't stop, but they would be lol cows on the internet. Like, it was so much easier to deal with those guys rather than like, it was so much easier to deal with those guys than deal with the people that fucking shoot minorities, right? Than people that like shoot minorities and like, you know, what do I call it? Yeah, no, straight up, dude. Straight up. We're getting those people back. Those people are just forming back where it's the anti-wokies are trying to be like, or trying to be that like kind of thing. They're like complaining about these doofuses.
Nowadays, I see the anti-woke argue and I just say, huh, look who's talking.
Yeah, exactly. They're just like, yeah, they're just the new woke. They're the new woke is like the fucking turning point people, right? Like the fucking people are all the anti-woke people are just now the woke people. It's so annoying. Because I'm like, it was so much progression happening. Yeah, it just like, there was so much progress happening, but they just like, it's like, but then fucking, they just, for some odd reason, didn't like that, you know, their children were being safer, you know, that like the people
and I'll be honest,
in our lives.
I find the Let's Go Brandon meme funny AF, since I've thought of it recently. But now they're just not funny and too predictable.
Oh yeah, straight up, man. Dude, honestly, I just don't get it, man, because it's like, it's annoying because it's like, they just straight up just need to like, it's a bunch of fucking like people that became young adults that just don't grow the fuck up. And obviously the old adults that are like my age that are trying to like act like we didn't live in like a time of empathy. We didn't live in a time where we were trying to be taught empathy, you know? It's amazing, man. Like, it's amazing because, like, things were changing for the better. You know, things were doing good, right? Like, we were doing good, you know? Like, were people being cringe as fuck? Oh, fuck yeah. There were so many people being cringe as hell, but it's like, I would rather take the cringe people that were like over the top about like pretending to be gay than the fucking people that are pretending to be Christian and like will kill you if you're not like, and will kill you for something that they don't even do, right? Like for being like, oh yeah, well the Bible says, and then they've never read the fucking Bible in their life and listened to a guy that gives them a fucking cliff notes on it and lies about it, by the way. It's like, it's so annoying. I just like, I don't get it because these guys are just as annoying and just as bad, like worse off than the quote unquote woke people, right? I'm just so annoyed because these guys are just dork. Like, these guys are bigger dorks than the other guys, but it's like they were just less dangerous, you know, because it was so much easier to just like debunk people that were trying to like pretend to be disabled or pretend to be gay. Because guess what? Those guys were so easy to debunk because guess what? I'm disabled. I'm gay. It was so easy to like, it was so easy to deal with these fuckers because like I could just be like, you're not. I'd be like, yeah, you're not. Why? Because I am. I know traits of these types of people, and like I know the stereotypes. Don't even try. It's so annoying because I'm like, what? Like, I don't know, man. I blame Texas. Like, maybe I'm, you know, obviously I shouldn't be pointing the finger at anybody, but it's like I blame Texas. I blame Texas for this shit because it's all the fucking. It's Texas.
I'm disabled
like,
and gay too, and I find it
everywhere.
weird how they like to be a victim for comedy's sake.
I'm disabled, gay too, and I find it weird that they like to be a victim for comedy's sake. Yeah, no, like not even for comedy's sake. They were a victim because of like, they were a victim because they wanted to be not oppressed, but I don't know. They wanted to be discriminated against. They wanted to be oppressed. Like, they wanted to be a part of some minority group when being a minority was is a really fucking difficult thing to do. You know, it's like a difficult thing to just like, it's a difficult way to live because there's so many people that you don't know who to trust and do know who to trust, right? Like, it's so hard to figure
Help with
out.
the Bible
Like,
thing that's just Catholicism in a nutshell. This is coming from a Catholic.
let's see, help with the Bible thing that's just Catholicism in a nutshell. This is coming
Not just
from
Texas.
Catholic.
I blame
No,
everyone who lives south of Virginia and east of New Mexico. The few exceptions being South Florida and some parts of Georgia.
Yeah, no, just straight up, man. It's like, I don't know, man. We were so fucking close. We were so close to just people being like, we were so close. Like, how do I explain this? I hate that the young people are listening to the old people. Let me say that. Because it's just them listening to old people, but pretending like the old people, like the old people are the ones that actually started this shit. Yes, are we the old ones now? Yes, I know that I'm the old person now as well, right? But it's the fact that they listen to a fucking world, like, the top political streamer is a World of Warcraft player. Think about that shit for just a second. They're a World of Warcraft player. What fucking credibility does a World of Warcraft player have? Like, this dude is a fucking loser. He's a loser that just basically thinks of the world like a video game.
Our parents were fucked up, and so are we.
Yeah, our parents were fucked up, and so are we. Yeah, I mean, we were fucked up, but at least but the difference is we started that whole, like, Gen X kind of started the whole, like, what do you call it? The whole, like, progression thing of, like, okay, let's not be racist. And then, like, and then millennials were like, okay, let's just kind of, like, start accepting gay people. And then, like, and obviously Hispanics as well, like, just Mexicans in general, right? Like, okay, that's a new thing we also have to keep up, right? But then, and then early Gen Z was like, okay, let's try having trans people, like, maybe trans people can actually transition since we've got, like, the scientific, like, since we've got, like, the, like, what do you call it? We've got, like, everything to actually be able to make them, like, actually physically transform into a different gender, right? Like, that seems pretty reasonable. And then, like, but then, like, late Gen Z is like late Gen Z listens to these fucking World of Warcraft players calling everything woke and calling progression woke. It's like, it's just stupid. It's just a dumb way of thinking of things. Like, it's just idiocy. It's idiocracy at its finest. And it's like, it's just annoying, right? You know, hold on one sec. I'm gonna go get some water. I'll be right back. I'm back. Put on my headphones real quick. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, it's just idiocracy at its finest, and like, how do you say it? Like, freaking, what, like, You know, like, I know exactly what triggered this entire thing. So the funny thing is, the common thing that would always happen is how you say it? The common thing that would always happen is like white dudes being attacked for being white. I know this, right? Like, I know this because I was attacked several times. I am not a white guy, but I look white, right? It's like I was born from Hispanic parents. It's like but I look white as shit. I like my grandfather's genes passed down to me because he also looked like a white guy, right? Like, I don't know why, but Spaniards look white sometimes. Like some of them are white. But what's interesting is like the difference is between like early Zoomers and late millennials is like just Zennials, I guess, you know. The difference between Zennials the difference between Zennials and Zoomers, like late Zoomers, is that they took offense to that. like Zennials didn't take offense to it. Zennials were like, just rolled their fucking eyes because we knew how stupid it was. But that's because we also like had knowledge, right? Like, we understood what like we understood that, like, you know, us being like a different skin tone didn't fucking matter. Like, we knew our advantages, right? You know, like, you know, I'm not gonna pretend that, like, you know, I think it's just the fact that, like, late Zoomers don't feel like they ever took advantage of it when someone like me, you know, like Zennials like us, took advantage of the fact that it's like, yeah, I look like a white guy, so I'm gonna use it, right? I'm gonna use that power for good, you know? Like, clearly, if I'm, like, a white dude, right, like, it's just, like, how you say it, like, cops obviously are way more, like, we're way more, passive towards me, right? They were extremely more passive towards me, right? Like, and I knew that because I was around minorities all the time, and when cops were around them, they were just dicks. Oh, shit. All right. Sorry.
Add over.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know,
At least I'm watching on YouTube too.
Yeah, like, how do you say it? Like, Zennials just, like, got to, like, we got a lot of the brunt of it, but, like, late Zoomers got, like, a lot of that, too. Like, we got most of it, but late Zoomers, like, got a little bit less of it, but they couldn't handle it, right? They couldn't handle being called a white guy and being villainized for being white, when, in reality, like, it doesn't matter. Like, the skin, like, racism is racism, right? They kind of forget that sometimes if you were like somebody who's racist towards you for being a white person, like, which, yes, did happen, you know, it's like it did happen with people near my age, you know, it's like, it's just like, you know, I just didn't care that much, you know, like, racism doesn't have that much of an impact when it doesn't impact you, right? Like, it doesn't have that much of an impact when somebody just says it, right? You know, like, I guarantee, like, fucking, you know, and the reason why I learned this was because a lot of my friends were Hispanic people. They were Hispanic people. They were black folks, like native, you know, tribal folks, Native American. I still don't know the actual term that they, what do you call it, that, you know, is appropriate for them. So again, I don't know. I would love to be informed on that if anybody is that here. Like, just fucking, like, Asian, obviously, at the time. Like, people used to be really racist towards Asians at the time when I was like a kid, right? Because people, for some odd reason, hated, like, Asian folks because of Japanese people went here. We know the story, right? But, like, you know, basic racism. Anyway, like, it's interesting, right? Because it's like all of these people have these fucking victim complexes because of something that a fucking dork said, right? You know, because of somebody that's like a fucking dork ass said, right? And a lot of these people are like, oh, these nose ring, blue haired motherfuckers. I'm like, bitch. Like, does that mean you have to take away the rights of actual minorities because of the fact that these absolute fucking, like, absolute, like, attention seekers, like, fucked everything up for us? Is that why, huh? Is that really, like, you really, like, oh yes, yeah, these guys hurt my feelings, so, like, rights? No more rights for everybody. Like, that's what that's the equivalency. That's the equivalency, I guess. Somebody hurt your feelings. I'm like, bitch, people, like, have been homophobic to me for years, brother.
Unfortunately, the racism reached a knockback effect. My parents are South Asian and they're racist to black people.
My parents are South Asians and they're racist. Yeah, well, racism can happen anywhere. That's the thing. It happens with everybody. Like I said, I've had people be like, racism happens with any race. You know, it happens with anything. It's just like, you know, it's just when we start getting into like equal rights and shit, it's like, yeah, it's just some people just by law don't have certain rights. I think it's a fair thing to say that everybody deserves equal rights, you know? Like, I think, you know, it's very, like, fair to say that gay people should be allowed to just have, like, what do we call it? That gay people should be allowed to be married, right? Or should be able to date at least, or, like, shouldn't have to hide themselves from the rest of the world, you know? Like, fucking, like, you know, gay people shouldn't be shot just for being gay, you know? It's like we have instances time and time again in history of like how many times minority groups just get shot by people, get shot by like blatant racism. You know, there just needs to be punishment for people that get hurt. You know, murder is murder. Like, there shouldn't be a thing where it's like, oh well, they were a different skin color, so they should be, you know, so this person should have more like punishment than, or this person should have less punishment for like attacking this person. No, fuck that. It's like a murderer is a murderer.
Yeah,
if somebody...
My parents are race supremacists. My parents and oldest brother hates Hispanics, and my middle brother has insecure thoughts on white people.
Let's see. Heck, my parents are race supremacist, and my parents are the oldest brother hates Hispanics, and my middle brother has insecure thoughts on, what do you call it? Has insecure thoughts on white people. Yeah, exactly. It goes both ways. People forget that racism will always be a thing. It's just the simple fact that, like, just because one group of people, like, just because, like, you know, certain people do things, we should count it all as equal problems, right? Like, murder is murder. It doesn't matter if it's a white guy, if it's a black guy, if it's a Hispanic guy, if it's a native, you know, or a tribal, or, again, like I said, you know, don't know the term on that. If it's like a, what do you call it? If it's like an Asian person, like, it doesn't matter. Murder is murder. If you murder a person, they're a person. Like, there should be no fucking leniency on any of this shit, right? Like, just because of, like, if a guy is a black guy, he should not be, like, and he shoots somebody, he shouldn't be, like, he should be prosecuted more just because of the color of his skin. He should be, like, he should be prosecuted and given the even amount of, like, of, you know, punishment as the white guy that murdered somebody, right? Like, you know... It's like serial killers are fucking serial killers, you know? It's like, we should not be giving them different treatments
of course, my brother accuses Hispanics of stealing jobs, and my middle brother thinks all white people are a small bit racist. I guarantee there's gonna be some unfair judgments.
Let's see. My Hispanics are stealing jobs, and my middle brother thinks all white people are a small bit of racist. You know, it's really or, like, that, well, I mean, that's the crazy thing, you know? It's like, I mean, probably unintentionally, you know? Like, I'm not gonna lie, there's probably moments where I've been very insensitive, you know? Like, I am probably a little bit sexist because I'm a fucking guy. No shit. I'm a dude, so I don't understand anything about women. And I don't fucking date women. And I don't know much about women, right? I can respect a woman for being who they are, but, like, you know, I also have the experience of being near women that, like, use me as a token, right? Like, use me as their token gay guy, like, their token gay friend, right? And I don't like that. It's like, maybe could I be a little am I a little sexist in that? Probably, you know? It's like, because it's no different than a guy doing that to me, but, like, at the same time, I just feel like women do that more than guys do, you know? It's just like, I mean, guys do it too, but it feels way less, but that's my own personal experience, right? Is that sexist to say? Probably. let's be honest, you know, am I racist towards people? Probably. Maybe I don't know it, but maybe I'm doing it unintentionally, right? Like, I look like a white guy and I've gotten benefits from looking like a white guy. I may be a Hispanic person, but I don't get the punishment like Hispanic people do, you know? I don't get the same, like, you know, terrible treatment that people are giving to them right now, you know, that people are giving to my community right now, you know? It's not like, I know my privilege, you know? You know, it's like, I know my privilege. And
It happened to me too. I was briefly biased against trans femme identities while supporting trans masc identities. I partly blame it on toxic masculinity.
Let's see, I was extremely briefly against trans femme identities while supporting trans masc identities. I partially blame it on toxic masculinity. Oh yeah, straight up, dude. Like, this is the problem too. It's like the one thing that I think a lot of people forget is like dudes just casually are like love being masculine, but like are way better at feminine things than they are masculine things, you know? Like, and that sounds crazy, but that's just always been truthful, you know? It's like we are much better at a lot of other things if we actually are given the chance, but you know, but unfortunately unfortunately we have these guys that just like want people to be in like this very specific thing that we've been bad at for years, right? You know, fashion, we are amazing with fashion, but nah, you know, but no, that's too feminine. I'm like, go fuck yourself. You know, not you, but just like, you know, sorry, one sec. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, you know, need a D here. Badung-ching. No. Yeah, man, I mean, it's like, you know, dudes have kind of been always better with a lot of female like things that we put on females, but you know, or put on women. See, I even call them
What constitutes as masculine or feminine varies by cultures, so I say gender roles can go to hell.
Yeah, exactly. They just it's based off of like it's based off of where you live too, you know? Like certain things could be like, you know, certain things should be able to be like, you know, certain normalities for certain areas, but like, you know, at the same time, like it just more the person should be able to also be okay with being like, how do I say this? Like state by state, right? Like if one state is like has normality towards one thing, like it's fine if it's not a normality for others, right? Like, but you shouldn't have to be like, oh, I want this to be a restriction on all countries. No, fuck that. You know, I'm sorry, no. Like, you know, like here, like there's so many Hispanic people. Like it is, I think the majority of people here are, you know what, actually, before I even say that, I think the majority of people here are Hispanic people now. Let me see, Arizona, Hispanic percentage, population, perfect. Let's see. Let me actually do some research real quick. Let's see here. Ooh, oh, it went down. Ooh, it went down this year. Actually, I know why it went down this year, but okay. Well, that's a lie now, I guess. So, let's see. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. That's a brutal map. Hold on. I'm sorry. Somebody, like... Wait, no. Hold on. Give me that image again. What is that? What? Where did the image go? There was, like, an image of,
it went down. Those walking ice cubes with a cold, dead heart.
Yeah. Oh. Hold on. I'm trying to see. Oh, did it go down, like... Hold on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm actually genuinely finding this out. Oh my God. Damn. Hold on. How many people? There's a lot of people that just left, so... Oh my God. What the fuck? Oh, dude. Sorry, I'm just, like, finding out how many people they've gotten. I don't know how many people they've caught, but there's a lot of people that that just blatant. I've said this many times. There's a shitload of people just blatantly leaving. So yeah, so it went down to 31%. It's 42% in the major city where I'm
Honestly,
near.
the entire U.S., let alone Arizona, is becoming more dangerous to foreign groups, let alone Hispanics.
Yeah. Arizona, honestly, the entire US, let alone Arizona, is becoming... Well, Arizona used to be, like, the safest place for Hispanics. Like, again, we have Hispanic leaders, so it's like... most of the people were Hispanic people, so we just, like, never bat an eye, but Turning Point really has fucked us. Holy shit. God damn, it went down to 30... So, let's see. Like, so it went down from, like, 40 to, like, 32 in 2025, and then it went down to... Hold on. And then this year, it's already down by... Sorry. Trying to actually find this. Let's see. It went down to 30 point... Hold on, wait, 31%? So it's 32%, went down to 31. Oh my god, dude. Dude.
My local NYC is also a safe haven for Hispanics, but the ice cubes are threatening our neighborhoods.
Yeah, I know. We have a lot of fucking, like, we have a kind of a mini, like, civil war going on here right now between cold cubes and Hispanic, or between cold cubes and, like, and our own community. Jesus Christ, holy fuck, man. That number just makes me fucking baffled. Good God. So I'm pretty sure at least the reason why it went down from 42 to 32 was because about 10% of the population already left before our current president, and, like, not just our president, like, our current leaders in general, like, went, what do you call it? Our current leaders, like, got put into leadership, right? Like, it was before that happened, so a good chunk of those people just left. Like, my own family, they, like, a lot of those people are in Spain now. They left. They bailed, right? They're out. Like, they don't live here anymore. So it's like, they, like, most of them, there's maybe a select few people that are still here, like, in my state. Which fucking sucks, because that's our construction workers. Like, and maybe I'm people are gonna get mad because I think I'm stereotyping, but I'm not fucking joking. Most of our HVAC employees and, like, fucking, like, and, like, construction workers, like, were Hispanic people, which most of them weren't immigrants by this point. It's like, and it kind of fucking sucks, because that means that literally, like, 10% of our workforce just bailed.
Took me 8 hours today.
Took me 8 hours today. Well, hey, you at least got it done tonight, Bullet, right? Yeah, like, literally 10% of our population just
Hi guys, I'm back again for React to Cartoons logo, February 26, 2026.
All right. How you doing, Kurt? How's work? How's errands? How's your day in general? Hope it went well for you. Yeah, literally 10% of the population just bailed. Like, 10% of the population bailed, and about 1% of it probably got, like, caught by cold cubes. Fucking hell, man. Oh, cool. Yeah. Love my people I love our people just being, how you say it? I love our people just,
yeah, actually,
like...
The Hispanics in my neighborhood work blue collar like car washes, construction, or fast food. But I say, they still work honest lives.
Oh, yeah, 1000%. I don't think that, I don't think that you could be like, oh, yeah, well, honestly, I think that they work. Like, you could be 1000% just true. It's like we have to remember here, like, a lot of the Mexican people, like, immigrated over to America when I was younger, right? And all of those people are old now. And their kids are now, like, working in, like, these higher, like, working in these, like important blue collar jobs, right? Like, it's not like, you're replacing workers with people that are just blatant Americans now. Like, those people that are, like, Hispanic now, like the adults like me, they're Americans. They were born from Mexicans, It's like they kind of forget that like most of the people that they're deporting now are clearly people that are already fucking like already established Americans by this point. They were born in America and now they have kids. They're in their like 30s now, like me, right? It's like people forget this shit, that it's like most of these people are Americans now. Like they're not Mexican Americans, they're just Americans. And like people, like it's just insane that like that there's still people that genuinely believe that like that most of the people born from those like, you know, born from those Mexicans aren't like, you know, aren't Mexican anymore. They're American. It doesn't matter their skin color now, you know? It's like, I'm sorry, but it's like, yeah, they're Hispanic people. They're Hispanic people, sure, but they're Americans. Doesn't matter, you know? It's like the race of their skin doesn't fucking matter anymore. The US has been a melting pot for years, dude. We had Italians everywhere, and people used to be like terrible towards them for a while, you know? And it's like, and now it's just, you know.
Same here. I'm also a second-gen immigrant. My parents are immigrants, but I am as American as they come.
Yeah, same here. I'm born, like, I was born American, you know? I'm an American. It's like I was born and raised here my whole life, you know? It's like, it's, you know, it's, I'm an American, whether you like it or not, you know? It's like, I don't, you know, I don't look Hispanic either, so I'm very lucky, but like, you know, it's like not everybody is as lucky as I am, you know? Yeah, need an R. Yeah, but like, I just, it's like, it's just crazy to me, man. It's like, it's too late. Let me say that. Like, by the time this leader came in, or these leaders came in, it's too late. It's too late. Like, that's not what, like, it's too late. It shouldn't have, like, I mean, it clearly isn't because there's a bunch of fucking dipshits, but, like, I mean, it's too late to, like, start being, like, to be like, oh, let's deport all these immigrants.
Same here once again. I'm Bengali but look ghetto American and talk white American.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's like, you know, it's like by this point, you know, like a lot of people are getting all pissed off, but I'm like, bro, it's too late. These people are American. All these people that you're fucking kicking out, they're American. They were born in America. They were born American and taught the American ways. They were taught, like, they were taught to be loyal to, you know, they're taught to be loyal to the American land, and that's what they're doing. Like, we taught these people to fight the American fight. And guess what they're doing? They're doing exactly that. It's like, it's so ironic because then, like, but they put this into politics, right? They put this into politics of being like, oh, it's the wokies. Oh, it's the woke left and these Mexicans. And I'm like, bitch, they're American. They were born here. They lived here for a long time. They lived here their whole childhood and a lot of their adulthood, right? It's like, you know, and well, not a lot, just all of their adulthood, right? All of their adulthood and all of their childhood, right? It's like they've been here. And it's like, and the fact that you taught them to be as American as possible, taught them the American Revolution, right? Like, or like, you know, you taught them that shit, all of a fucking sudden, they're like, oh shit, okay, here's what our forefathers would have wanted, right? Like, am I crazy? Or am I just speaking what Americans like, you know, am I speaking like the American way, right? Like, they taught us to be this way. Like, I don't know why boomers and billionaires are so pissed off at us because we learned this, you know? It's like, I don't know, man. They recognize that they made the mistake, so they're trying to take away the education to, like, teach people that. But, like, you know, like, Lewis and Clark Sacagawea, you know? It's like, are we really, like, trying to pretend, like, are we trying to pretend that, like, that a fucking native, like, didn't help, you know, that a native didn't help, like, help two white guys explore the fucking United States? Let's be honest here, you know? Like, it's crazy, you know? Like, you really think people on unknown land were able to, like, fight, like, you know, be able to figure out, like, how this shit worked? Hell no. It's just, it's insane, dude, you know? And, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Do I think current generation people should be like attacked for previous generations? Fuck no. You know? Like, that's the thing too. Like, it's like, yeah, like your ancestors did a lot of terrible shit, but guess what? So did ours. You know, it's like every person's ancestors use like
Hi,
you know, we have to remember we all come from like places like, hi Karai, how's work? How's errands? How's your day in general? Hope it went well for you. You know, we all fucking like, you know, we all came from like, Europeans trying to like
The
kill
indigenous
each
Americans
other and
helped out the
shit.
settlers, and then the white settlers backstabbed them.
Yeah, exactly. You know, exactly. It's like, you know, and I don't know, man. It's like everybody was born off of like people that were just ravenous and violent, right? Like, and it's only very recent that humanity just finally was like, hey, maybe we should just talk this out. It's only such a recent
All of us are descendants
thing.
from some type of people who moved from one land to another.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like, you know, people really should just be like, hey, you know what? Like, let's talk this out, right? You know, and like, how do I say this? The funniest thing right now that I don't think a lot of these guys are like doing right now that are trying to like, that are just being like pieces of garbage. It's so funny because a lot of these guys are using the defense of being like, oh, well, see, they would attack me for the things my ancestors did. Hey, guess what? Maybe do the same. Maybe tell them, it's like, hey, did you know that your ancestors also used to sacrifice people to a blood god? Like, are we really pretending like are we really going to sit here trying to act like, you know, like, are we seriously gonna sit here and pretend like there wasn't another solution to this? Like, you could have literally like made the easiest comeback to them, right? You know, like if I'm gonna like, you know, pardon my fucking.
That too. All of our ancestors were jerk faces.
Yeah, pardon my pardon how I'm going to talk about like other races here for a second, but let me be honest here. If they say, oh yeah, well, like your white ancestors used to kill shitloads of people, hey, guess what? Like, be like, yeah, well, your ancestors used to sacrifice people to blood gods.
99% of history is nothing but racism and warfare influencing more racism and warfare.
Exactly, right? Like, you know, it's like they sacrificed your people to like blood gods and shit. So don't even go there, right? You know, oh, well, there was a shitload of, you know, it's like they turned us into slaves. And I'm like, yeah, well, guess what? Jesus was a slave. It's like, so or no, he wasn't. Sorry. Was he? I don't remember. But it's like, you know, guess what? Jesus's people had slaves and shit. So it's like, you know, and it's like, and they weren't white. So it's like, you really want to like, it's like, seriously, like you want to be that person, just counter them. Like, counter them and be like, yeah, your people did the same thing, you know? I don't know. Oh, there were people like racist towards African Americans. Well, or not even African Americans, black people. Let's be honest, like they're just Americans. They're not even African, right? Even then, right? Even if somebody's like, oh,
everyone in the past was an asshole, so I just want us now to shut the fuck up and stop following this outdated victim complex.
Exactly, right? You know, like everybody, you're right. Like every generation, we're here now. Like it's too, like we're not, like, you know, we're not our ancestors. We've gotten past all that shit, right? We're done, right? It's like the end goal was right there, right? Like, why are we trying to bring racism back? You know, like it's so funny because, like, yeah, sure, there's people that are like, they're like, oh yeah, well, people used to like keep African Americans as slaves, or people are racist towards African Americans. Hey, guess what? Like, you're not African, you're American. Shut the fuck up. You're not even African. You're American, bitch. You lived here and you're fucking, it's like, guess what? Your family has lived here and your family and that family has lived here and their family has lived here. It's like, bitch, you've lived here. You're American now. Shut the fuck up. You're one of us now, bitch. So it's like, if you, like, guess what? You have to deal with the same problems we do now. Like, nice try, but you're one of us. One of us, you know, maybe I'm, you know, it's like, oh, you're a privileged white guy. Fuck yeah, I am. And you're a privileged black guy. Welcome. It's like, guess what? Now we have to help each other out. I'm poor just like you. Welcome to fighting billionaires. I'm here fighting the rich with you.
Fuck it. Everybody on Earth is an American and we all suck. Lol.
Nah, not everybody on Earth. Just Americans are Americans. You know, I don't fucking accept Nux Taku. He's a Canadian. Fuck that Canadian. I'm sorry. You know, I'm not saying that we should raid Canada. Canada? Wow. Wow. That was the most American thing I've ever said. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I'm hell of American, man. I love America. Like I love,
Canada.
you know, I love the land we live, and I love the fucking, you know, and I love the fucking, like, American Revolution. I absolutely am a person that loves the Constitution and loves the Declaration of Independence. I am a shill for the American way, right? But it's like, the problem is,
It's called Canada, you dunce.
Yeah, I know. I know it's called Canada. Yes, I know. That's why I said Canada. I know, I was being a fucking dumbass for a second. See, that's how American I am. I can't even pronounce Canada right. Yeah. Like, this is the thing, man. I am totally a
Why
shill.
did Twitch label the word dunce as an inappropriate word?
It labeled the word dunce as an inappropriate word. Wow. That's insane. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, bro, we're all fucking American at this point. I shill for America. I don't shill for politicians, you know? That doesn't mean I have to be loyal to the doesn't mean I have to be loyal to the people that call themselves leaders that were paid by billionaires.
Unless they
right?
don't like Canada.
Unless they don't like Canada. Yeah. Unless who doesn't like Canada? Americans? I mean, you know, I think Canada has its problems.
I mean Twitch not liking Canada.
Oh, that could be true. Maybe. I don't know, man. I'm a shill for the American way, and, you know, looping it all the way back around, you know, bringing it back around.
What's your opinion on the USA and Iran?
So, opinion on USA and Iran? I don't think we should be even focusing on overseas problems. Like, I think that it's annoying that Iran is losing, you know?
Never mind. Canada wasn't the inappropriate word.
I think that's annoying that Iran is losing and the US is, like, doing its, you know, and the US is even there in the first place, you know? I hate to be that person, but it's like, you know, I liked it better when we were just basically on the sidelines just collecting oil rather than actually engaging in a fucking war. Because I'm not gonna lie, we're just wasting our own resources now. You know? Maybe I'm a little crazy, but you know, I think it was better when the US was like, nah, we'll just you know, we'll just like stand on these sidelines here and just like, you know, and just collect oil. I think that was a great idea. You know, maybe I'm a little insane, but, you know, like, you have two theocracies fighting each other out and basically like just standing back and being like, and trying to like keep their borders the exact same, you know, keep their borders the exact same, help the side out that needs help.
I hate Iran too, but I think a better idea would be to support the student protests there and overthrow Iran from the inside out.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, yeah, you're right. Maybe that is a better idea. Like, I just, you know, like, maybe I'm so American. I just, you know, maybe, is it wrong for us to take the oil? Yeah, sure. But, like, you know, it's it's two theocracies fighting each other for, like, a religious, like, reason. You know, it's like, you know, let them duke it out, even the border, and basically wait until they get tired and have a stalemate for the rest of their lives, right? You know, it's crazy, but it does, like, that sounds reasonable, you know, or taxes are not going to be used as much, and maybe, you know, maybe we'll actually be, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm insane, but, you know, do I think we should be stealing the oil? Not necessarily. I think we should advance from oil, but, you know, like China's doing, but, you know, like, is it the worst thing in the world to just, like, is it the worst thing in the world to keep the borders the way they are? I don't think so, right? You know, it's the reason why, like, you know, why we, like, got involved in Ukraine, right? Because we didn't want Russia taking over Ukraine and being like, nah, let's keep the borders. And we were gonna get resources out of it, so, you know, am I a dipshit for that? Maybe. But I think defending a place that's losing their land is like, you know, defending a place that, like trying to make sure nobody gains or loses land is, like, the perfect thing, you know? Because if eventually they recognize that this shit is so fucking annoying that their own citizens eventually, like, their own citizens overthrow their own government, like, you know, we should let that happen, right? You know, they can overthrow their own government, you know? It's like, let the citizens choose. We shouldn't have to choose, you know? It's not our country, you know? Like, Iran isn't our country. We don't get to choose that. Like, Iran and Israel, they aren't our country. Like, we don't get to choose that, you know? I hate to be that person, you know? Maybe I'm, you know, a lot of times, a lot of people, like, you know, I get the idea. I don't live overseas, you know, but I'm just trying to use the best sense that I can, right? I don't know. Do I think we should ignore it? Probably not, because do I think we should ignore it? Not necessarily, because that's how Nazi Germany became a thing, because they just started taking land for like no reason. Because, like, you know, we ignored it previously, and that ended up allowing the entirety of Europe to be taken over, you know? Maybe I'm crazy, but, you know. I don't know. I don't know. If you guys hate me for that, I would love to hear the other side. I'd love to hear a different opinion. Because, like, you know, maybe I'm too fucking, what do you call it? Maybe that's, like, too inhumane of me, but I don't know. I think whatever the least amount of deaths in, like, the, like, you know, least terrible way and, like, the best way possible is, like, you know, I think world peace is the best thing, the best option sometimes, you know? Like, maybe I'm crazy, but what do you, yeah, I don't know. What's your opinion on that, Karai? Or Super Shafts? I'm sorry.
I do also support defending Ukraine honestly.
I also support defending Ukraine honestly. Yeah, no. Yeah, straight up, man. I don't think I don't think, like, other people should be taking other people's land. Like, straight up, you know? Like, you know, I don't think that exists, because just imagine, like, if, I don't know, South America decides to, like, take over Mexico and take over, like, and try to, like, take over all the United States, right? Like, people would be pissed about that shit, right? Like,
Ukraine and Palestine, I stand by both of them.
Right? Ukraine and Palestine, I stand by both of them. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I don't know anything about Palestine. I'm not going to lie. I don't know anything about Palestine. I looked into it, and there was just, like, it was just a historian talking about the crazy fucking history they have there, and it's bonkers. It's bonkers. Like, I have no fucking idea what's going on there, because there was so much information on that shit all at once. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So, like, I don't have any opinion on it right now, because I don't know what's going on. It's not the fact that I don't care, it's just the fact that I have no idea. Like, I could not comprehend what was happening, you know? There was so much shit going on that was, like, flinged at me, that I was like, you know, I'm like, what, like, people are being starved and hurt and killed and, like, being jailed for some, like, being imprisoned and, like, slaughtered. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? I'm like, what is going on?
I'll tell you this, Zionists are too much over there.
Zionists are too much over there? Probably. I have no idea. You know? Like, I have no fucking idea. Like, see, and that's what I'm saying. I'm getting, like, things like that where it's, what do I call it? Let's see. Okay, got it. Yeah, okay. See, and that's what I'm just saying. Like, I have no fucking idea. Like, I wish I could tell you, but I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know. If I could tell you, I could tell you, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, yeah. Is there a bunch of Zionists over there? Probably. I have no fucking idea. You know? Like, I have no idea. Like, the main focus I normally have is with my own state. It's even, like, with my, like, the
If
only
anything, I hate
reason...
Zionists. They follow a victim complex built off the past and harm the Palestinians the same way their ancestors were harmed.
Okay, see, I didn't know that. So they want revenge, they want vengeance, yeah, so... You remember how I said we should not be? You remember I said we should not be how you say it? We should not be like attacked the same way that are like we should not be attacked for the things our ancestors did. There's my point, right? You know, it's like a bunch of fucking people killing people because of what their past ancestors did. Like, so I was right. It's like historian stuff, right? Like, it's theocratic bullshit, and I hate it. This is why we keep, like, a separation from church and state, because...
Zionists claim to make a country safe for Jews, but they instead kill the Palestinians.
Of course they do. That doesn't make, you know, that's fine. I mean, they're not fine. That's, you know, that's just a thing that, like, you know, it's people killing people because of, like, because they believe, like, some fictional story, if that makes any sense. Not fictional story, but it's like, how do I say this? This is the reason why church and state should be separate, right? Because not only is like the government is always like is always usually pretty corrupt in like some way, shape, or form. So the church shouldn't be corrupted, right? It's like you shouldn't combine them together because then you'll just corrupt the church, right? Maybe I'm a little crazy, but like if you bring the government into church, then then they're gonna corrupt the church. Because the government can get corruption quite fast and quite easily, and usually the church trying to like combine that with state is going to corrupt the church, and you don't want to do that, right? You know, this is the result of combination of church and state.
Agreed. And
right?
now the church and state are both corrupt already.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like you just corrupted the church by bringing in the government, right? You made politics, or you make politics. You made religion political, right? Simple as that. You made religion political, and you shouldn't do that, you know? Because if you make religion political, it just like, you know, you just get the church doing some fucking crazy shit and like people not being safe around church anymore, right? Like, this is the thing. It's love thy neighbor, you know? Sorry, that's with Christianity. I shouldn't say that with Jewish because I don't know. So I shouldn't say that with being Jewish, but you get what I mean, right? It's like religion should not be corrupted by government. Simple as that, right? That's always what happens, right? We've known that time and time again in past history. If the government gets involved in the church, then the church gets corrupted. I think it's that simple, right? Because faith should always be on its own, right? It should always be on its own. It should not be a part of the government. Simple as that. Anybody that's trying to do that is trying to corrupt the church. Simple as that, you know? So, you know, obviously, maybe I'm not, you know, maybe that's crazy.
Hell, every major religion is corrupt to an extent. My community of religious hardliners was full of people who support child labor. Good riddance.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is those aren't churchgoers then. Those are people that are just more involved in politics than they are into faith. Faith should be just based off of faith, you know? Like, it's not that you know, you shouldn't just praise Jesus, you should be Jesus, you know? You should act like Jesus. Jesus was a person that was trying to get his people away from kings and queens, like from literal fascists, you know, from like massive monarchs that were trying to like...
They claim to be holy, but use it as an excuse and to garner attention.
Yeah, exactly. Like they probably never read the book in their life. If you are taking the Bible literally, then you believe in an apple curse. You believe in the apple curse that human beings were once immortal and then ate a magical apple and then became mortal, and then because of some snake from some fucking snake creature, right? Like that's just whether it happened or not, it's just then magic would be a thing, right? But who knows? I don't know. It's like you believe in some weird shit if you take it literally, right? You believe that a man should have his hands chopped off if he rapes a woman, right? Maybe that one's a little true. I don't know, but and like you believe that if you generally actually take the Bible literally, then you'll believe the mistranslation that men should not be sleeping with little
the Bible
boys
doesn't even specify
and
what
should
fruit
be
it was that they
executed
made.
for
But
it.
do you see Christians banning fruit consumption? I don't.
You see them banning fruit consumption? Hell no. Yeah. Bible doesn't even specify what fruit it was that Eve ate, but you do see Christians banning fruit. consumption. No, hell no. Yeah. You know, I don't know, man. It's like, it's ironic, you know? It's always so funny because, like, that's the one thing that I think is hilarious is the fact that there's like people that pretend to be religious, but then hate science, like, but then are like against science, and I'm like, bitch, science is like, feels like magic. It proves the Bible. It proves religion. If science is your enemy, then you've never read it before. If science is your enemy, you've never read the Bible before, because science is literally saying the moon crashed into the planet Earth, and then like made lava rise up from the Earth and become this giant ball of water, and then fucking land like fucking rose up from the fucking from the sea and became like.
Reminder, I'm still here.
Yeah, you're good, Fox McDaggle. You're good. And like land rose up from the fucking sea, and like how'd you say it? And then there was just like, you know, and then there was just a land that people were on, and then there was like fucking giant dinosaur creatures, and we have like oil from that shit. It's great, dude. Like, it flat out, like, people of science and religion completely agree. Like, that's the craziest thing, man. The one thing I think a lot of these people do not understand is science and religion completely prove each other right. I don't mean to, like, you know, like, religion is saying, like, why it was created, and, like, and science is saying how it was created. Like, am I wrong? You know, it's like, because, like, in the Bible, literally sentence 1 is like, it's like, oh, there, you know, God said that there was grass, like, to be grass, and then there was grass, and then he said, then he grows land, and he said there was land, and then he grows grass, and then there's grass, and then he rose mountains, and then there was mountains, like, right? Like, it's like, okay, that sounds pretty crazy, right? And then fucking, like, and then science is like, no, yeah, that's how that happened. Like, am I wrong? They're like, no, that's how that happened. They don't say who did it. They just say how it happened. They're like, no, that's right. That's correct. Like, the land rose up from the sea, you know? Land rose up from the sea, and then there was like creatures that evolved, and here's how they became humans. Like, so much stuff, like, they prove each other right. You know? It's insane to think about, but nobody, like, ever thinks about the fact that science proves religion. You know, it's like, I just don't know why nobody ever talks about this shit, you know? So many people are gonna be like, oh, well, you're just wrong. And I'm like, bitch, prove it then. Prove that I'm wrong. Prove that these two don't correlate with each other. Like, oh man, look at this rock right here.
I actually had that talk with a Christian preacher at my college a week ago. Him and I agree that science and religion go hand in hand.
Exactly. They prove each other. Like, no shit. No shit, they go hand in hand. Like, I'm so fucking tired of this because they're like, oh, well, vaccines can make kids sick. I'm like, bitch. I'm like, bro, this is God's nectar, motherfucker. I'm like, I'm sorry to say this, but it's like, you know, like, I don't know, man. It's like, maybe I'm crazy in thinking of this, but I'm like, I'm sorry, like, vaccines is like God's nectar to protect you. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Ibuprofen, man, it gets rid of your headache. Dude, that's some godly shit right there. That's some shit that seems like God gave us. They made these guys so smart that they can make ibuprofen. Like, I don't know. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but, you know, like, you know, fucking food, oh, wait, hold on, let me really hit this right here. You could put a seed into
Vaccines have been proven safe for over 100 years, and yet people like RFK have immense trust issues.
Mm-hmm. They have immense trust issues because they don't actually fucking read the book. They don't read the fucking book, they don't read the fact that God gave us gifts, you know? That God gave us gifts, and they're like, you know, and they're like, oh, well, it's like, oh, it's against the Bible. No, it ain't. He gave us that shit, and we're utilizing it, you know? Like,
if vaccines and modern science were truly bad, they'd be bad for the body.
Exactly, right? Like, it's like the fact we could put a seed in the ground, and, like, we put a seed in the ground, and it grows. That's science, bitch. That's science, and God gave us that gift to grow fruit. gave us the gift to grow fruit and fucking and veggies and like be able to give us like animals to make food off of. I'm like, protein is good for us. Vitamins are good for us. Food is good for us. It's like we consume this stuff to eat it. I'm like, brother, like you cannot be telling me that like the earth is not like, you cannot be telling me that like that making this like having food have got like it, you cannot be telling me that this medicine made from this stuff is like is not God's gift. It's like they made these people so smart that like that it's God's gift. I don't like, you know, maybe I'm a little crazy, but you know, I don't know. Like, I don't know, people are gonna call me insane for being like, oh, well, you believe religion, you're fucking weird. Fucking, maybe I do. Maybe I'm a little fucking weird for believing religion too, but like, I don't know. Seems like the proof is in the pudding. I don't know. There's medicine out there. You know, it's like there's medicine out there. There's doctors that can fucking find out shit about the human body, brother. Like, I don't know, like, can you explain this fucking weird creature that I am? Can you explain human beings? Can you explain, like, how these things, like, you know, it's like a fucking fish turning into a human being? Like, man, that seems like God's work, you know? I'm like, I don't know, it seems like a pretty good work there. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, you know? Maybe the single cell is turning into giant fish creatures. Like, who knows? You know, empathy, human fucking empathy and feelings and love, like pretty godly if I'm pretty fucking like stricken right there, you know? I don't know. It's just insane to me because it's like people that just genuinely don't like, people that genuinely just want to be against science are like fucking idiots. It's like, bro, you're completely just chopping off a gift given by God, okay? You know? I don't know. I have no fucking idea, man. And I don't even want to call myself religious, right? I really don't want to call myself that because I don't think I am. But it's just annoying the fact that people just don't understand that this is a beautiful thing that we lived in, and getting along with each other was a good thing. You know, getting along with each other and maybe not like having like countless endless wars. Maybe that's what Jesus would have wanted, okay? You know, maybe I'm a little crazy, but like maybe that's what Jesus would have wanted. Maybe he wanted world peace, you know? Like just because a lot of other places can't, just because a lot of other people can't do it does not mean that like we the people shouldn't, right? You know, it's one nation under God, and clearly God wants us to have world peace, you know? Clearly. I don't know, man. Jesus would have wanted it, so why not, you know? I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. But instead we're focusing on fucking people being able to fucking... Instead we're focusing on, like, people having, like, being attracted to their own gender naturally, you know? I don't know. With, like, you know, with... Oh, sorry. With fucking God's fucking students, you know, God's, fucking gifts of life, aka scientists, explaining, like, oh yeah, your hormones just kind of just decide to change, you know, your hormones just, like, basically just choose that, like, instead make you attracted to like the same gender instead of a different gender. Like, so easy to understand, brother. Like, honestly, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Who knows? You know, I guess fuck all the smart people. Fuck all the people that can explain God's gifts. Nah. Yeah, nah, let's fuck all the people that can explain the gifts of God, and instead listen to the people that are trying to grift you. Let's listen to all the people that are trying to take like billions of dollars, like spending their money on private jets, you know. Sure. You know. Oh, but it's for God. No, it's not. It's for your own selfish gain. You're fucking you're greedy. You are one of the sins called greed. Ugh. I don't know. Who knows? I really need to clip these sometimes and be like, hey, here's some information about being godly. Let's see if you understand it. I don't know. I'm obviously a fucking idiot, but like I'm not so stupid to be like to not understand like, you know, understand like oh, it's ing I and that's an N. Yeah, that's an A. I think. Okay, so I need an N, not a G. Or yeah. I don't know, man. Like, who knows? Sorry for the giant fucking ramble and yaps that I go on, but it's like, I don't know, man. People just, you know, it's just crazy. It's so easy for us to get along, but we just choose not to. We just choose not to. And like stomp on the fucking grave of like of a person that we like stomp on a grave of like a person that was trying to be like the world peace guy, you know? I don't know. You ever think that sorry, I one more rant. One more smaller rant. Like, you ever think that the reason why the Romans killed Jesus was because he was spreading too much love, and he was going to probably, like, get these guys to, like, you know, probably get these guys to accidentally, like, be spreading peace and love? You ever think about that? I don't know. You ever think truly the reason why the Romans killed him was because of the fact that, like, that they recognize he's too much of a peaceful threat? You know? He was spreading peace too much, you know, like the guy was generally like, the guy like went on by and was like, hey everybody, let's all be friends. And they're like, nope, just like fucking took his ass and fucking piked him. Turns out that backfired.
Yeah, I agree. Remember what I said about our ancestors being assholes? The Romans are no exception.
Oh yeah, no, straight up, dude, yeah. Like, you ever think that the Romans probably kind of recognized that, like, that a guy that was, like, all about, you know, all about peace and love, like, was the fucking dude that ended up, how do you say it? You ever think the guy that was all about peace and love was probably considered a threat to, like, to the freaking Romans that were, like, all about violence?
Every single ancient civilization had and did something that would not fly today.
Oh, yeah, no, straight up, dude. Honestly, yeah. They knew that fucking, they knew they had to twist the narrative of Jesus, brother. They knew they had to twist the narrative of being like a peaceful guy, because they're like clearly that wasn't working. They were like, because they're like, and he, like, you know, clearly the person that was the original writer, like, fucking loved Jesus, right? He obviously was a huge fan of Jesus and was talking about like so much peace. Right, he was clearly talking about like how peaceful this guy was and how good of a person this dude was. I mean, he came back after 3 days, but you get them, like, you know, like, yeah, no, sorry, even to the point where they're like he didn't die, he came back after 3 days, guys, come on, duh, you know, even though it was probably just a person that acted like him, you know. Like, if you can easily explain, like, why somebody probably came up with, like, a certain fantasy that he came back after 3 days was because of, like, oh, I don't know, maybe the fact that, like, I don't know, maybe the fact that, like, he came back after 3 days because, like, there was probably just someone else that acted just like him. Someone else that acted just like him and was, like, influenced off of him and was like, I wonder if I start doing that, you know? Like, it's one of those things, right? You know, it's like, it's probably the dude was super contagious. You know, he was super contagious and just being a good person, right? I don't know. It seems pretty good. Seems pretty good to save your people from being like slaves their whole lives and fucking, you know, being slaves their whole lives and fucking like, you know, like spreading love around everywhere, you know? They clearly loved, like, clearly this guy was too influential and ended up surpassing the depths of time, you know? We still talk about him to this day, and I think that's a good thing. Like, I think it's a good thing that we talk about him to this day, you know? Because he's done so much good shit, or because he clearly was such a good person. But I just think it's annoying because people use that as at their advantage to be like, to like leave that part out. They don't want you to know that he's a good guy. They don't want you to know, like, you know, they blatantly tell you the 7 sins, but they don't, the 7 deadly sins, but they just don't, how do you say it? They want to explain to you the 7 deadly sins, but then they do one of the 2 sins, you know? Now they do 2 of the 2 sins. Now they do sloth and they do greed, you know? They do the 2 main sins, you know? Greed, obviously, because of, like, what do you call it? Greed, obviously, because of all the fucking money that they use to, like, to benefit themselves. And then sloth, because now a lot of them are content creators. So, you know, pretty demonistic to me. I don't know. The U.S. fucking, you know, using federal currency to benefit yourself, you know. And, like, you know, and that would all be fine if they didn't just attack others, you know. I don't think anybody would be all too, like unhappy about them having mega churches and fucking flying private jets, like, and driving around, like, you know, a fucking new Tesla. If they just were like, you know, yeah, just, you know, even if I don't agree with, like, certain things of, like, you know, of God, or, like, agree of, like, certain things that are happening, like, in our world, you know, like fucking gay people, because they fucking, for some odd reason, really hate gay people. It's like, you know, like, even though I don't like gay people, we still have to be good to thy neighbor because we don't want to go to hell, you know? Just be good to thy neighbor and don't harm your neighbor, right? Don't attack your neighbor for being gay. Just let them be, you know? Like, you know, worst case scenario, just put the fucking, like, I know they already technically do this, but they can just be like, you know, they could just be passive and be like, oh, well, you know, you can't save these people, whatever, you know, maybe I'm crazy, but, and again, it's the fucking whole thing is a mistranslation where it's not, thou shalt not lie to a man like thou shalt not lie to a woman, right? You know, god damn it, fucking ads. All right, I'm gonna take a piss while that ad's playing. And then I'll finish off my statement.
Color is missing. Add over.
Okay, sorry, I am back. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, no, what do you call it? There's the thou shall not lie to a man like thou shall not lie to a woman, but, like, you know, which is hilarious because literally, I mean, that part's not hilarious, but, like, it's crazy that they're trying to use that as, like, an anti-gay message when it's literally just saying, don't lie. Don't lie to people. Don't lie to a man like you wouldn't a woman, right? Because guess what? People used to at least respect women enough to not lie to them. I mean, probably not, but, you know, like, they literally were like, hey, don't lie to your lady. You know, simple as that, right? That seems pretty simple, you know? And then, like, but what's really funny is that was a fucking mistranslation and said, don't lie, like, don't lie down with a fucking little boy. Don't lie down with little boys, you know? Don't lie to little boys as you would have like a woman, right? You know, don't like, so if you're gonna take it in the way of like, oh yeah, don't like what do you call it? It's like, if you want to take it in the way of like, oh, don't get in bed with like with a man as you would with, or don't get in, you know, bed with a boy as you would like a woman, like that's literally telling you not to be a pedo. Even back then they were against pedos. So I'm like, come on, brother, you know? It's like, come on, man. Like, you can't be serious, bro. This is the R. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think it's just absolutely crazy to me that these people like if it's going the way that like it's actually being said, don't lie to somebody, you know? Don't lie to little boys, right? Don't lie to children, right? Don't lie to a boy, right? Don't lie to a little kid, right? Even though some lies I think are fine, but yeah, that's a sin, I guess, lying to little boys, you know, lying to boys, you know, okay, that's fair. You know, I get that. That's not a thing that I kind of would want to have, because like certain things I don't want to tell them, because I don't think children should learn certain things yet. But, you know, there we go. I'm committing a sin right there, right? But, you know, if you're talking about in the way of don't lie down with little boys, like don't get in bed with little boys, then yeah, it's anti-pedo. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, if that's the case, I am totally following the Bible to its highest degree. I am like, yeah, fuck those guys. You know, I'm like, yeah, fuck those guys. Fuck the pedophiles. Like, go fuck themselves. You know, I'm like, yeah, fuck that. I 1000% agree. Fuck the fucking, you know, it's like fuck the like, you know, like it's like fuck the guy, like, you know, fucking, you know, fuck the guys that fucking lie down with little boys, dude. It's like, fuck the pedophilia bullshit, bro. I don't know. I don't know, man. Is that too edgy to say? Probably, but, you know.
Fuck those guys, not those children.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck those guys, not those children, exactly. You know? Nah, don't even fuck them, because they're too good. Like, we're too good. Like, you know, they're not enough to be fucked, you know? They're not enough to be fucked. You know, I'm talking about the guys, not the children, obviously. Y'all know what I meant. Yeah, no, the dudes just don't fucking deserve, like... Yeah, I mean, you know, what do you expect? Like, you know, like fucking... Like, I don't know. I know I've said this multiple times, but, you know, like... I don't know, man. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Pedos don't deserve... Like, even the Bible says pedos don't deserve to fucking... Like, don't, like, obviously fucking are the worst thing in the world. Back then, brother, back then they were saying that shit. Back then they were like, yeah, don't be, like, even back then, like, I know that I keep, like, bringing it back that it's like, oh, well, it's back then, but you have to remember, even, like, back then, there was, like, fucking teenagers, like, dating with other teenagers, and, like, they were getting married and having, like, kids and shit at way too young of an age, right? Because they only lasted till they were like 30 years old, right? But like even back then, like in the Bible, they were like grown-ass men, do not sleep with little children, do not be sleeping with little boys and girls, don't be sleeping with children. Like, it's like if you are a like 30-year-old man, do not be sleeping with a fucking 14-year-old girl, okay? You know? It's crazy to me that they, like, you know, it's absolutely insanity to me that, like, you know, they're like, don't be a pedophile. Even back then they were like that. Even back then they hated predators. That's saying something. You know? Like, if that's the thing that they, like, this is kind of the craziest thing, man. This is why everybody, like, this is the one thing that I am very glad that at least, like, most people that are not fucking dumbasses agree on. Everybody hates pedophiles. Everyone hates pedophiles. Whether you're religious or not, you hate pedophiles. And, like, if you are religious, you hate pedophiles the most. You should hate pedophiles the most because it tells you not to lie with boys. Like, little boys, should not be in bed with little boys. Like, even back then, they were like, grown men do not lay in bed with little boys. And I fucking love that rule in the fucking Bible because that means that you don't fucking, you don't fucking lie down with children. They were anti-pedo back then, and that is fucking beautiful. I don't know. Like, the one thing that has never changed throughout all of the history is that we are still hating pedophiles to this day. I love that. I love that we hate pedophiles. I love that, that we're telling people not to fucking lay down with 14-year-old girls, right? And 14-year-old boys, right? Like, I'm so glad that we're telling people not to do that shit, right? God, it's amazing to hear that shit, man. Like, it's amazing to read that shit. I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows, man?
Color, my dad says that the Files mascot is the reason people are transgender.
The Files mascot is the reason why people are transgender? Files mascot? As in, like, was he being transphobic, or was he more just like, or was he more like making a joke of like, haha, this is the reason why people change gender because billionaires wouldn't find them attractive or something, or billionaires wouldn't want to bang them.
Meanwhile, religious conservatives today throw their children at any program that claims to bring their kids closer to religion, but actually puts them in a room with a sex offender.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Like, it's so annoying because they're, like I said, I'm friends with like a fucking, like, with a priest, brother. I'm friends with like a priest, like, and they're friends with a rocket scientist. And if
he's transphobic, and he accused my brother of being transgender because of the Files mascot.
Because of the Files mascot? What? Because of Epstein? I mean, we could probably say Epstein, but like,
Replying to Fox Dowgold, Color, my dad says that the Files mascot is the reason people are transgender. Sounds like something he said out his ass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does he have proof? Could we tell him to show proof? Because like, that just seems weird. That seems like a weird thing. Be like, hey dad, are you watching Fox News again? I don't know. Really just hammer it home. Be like, are you watching Fox News again? And then like,
Fox News LMAO.
Yeah, if he's actually watching Fox News, be like, hey, did you know Fox News is owned by Israel? Did you know Fox News is owned by an overseas country? Because that's true. That's actually
Excuse me,
real.
what?
Yeah. Fox News is owned by Israel. Hold on. Let's see. Fox News headquarters. Hold on. Yeah, it's owned by Israel. Hold on. Let's see. They have one in New York too, but hold on. Hold on. Da, da, da. Is it Israel or is it somewhere in the Middle East? Hold on. Somewhere in the Middle East, apparently, that their main headquarters are, that bought them out.
I am gonna go stream lurking. My family is eating now for the Ramadan fast.
You're good. Yeah.
Wait, from what I've seen, Israel is bad. Yes, no, maybe so.
Israel is bad. Yes, no, maybe so. Apparently, yes. Yeah, no, Fox News is literally like they're the people that bought them out own Israel headquarters, or own like a headquarters over there. That's why Fox News is so so weird about the Middle East all the time, and so pro our president.
Oh boy.
Or pro our current leaders. News channel. Da, da, da. Let me see here. Looking for it right now. Whoops! Did not mean to do that. I don't.
I'll stop watching that shit.
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. Coverage. Oh yeah, here it is. Yes, Fox News is associated with the Middle East through its coverage of regional events, including conflicts, political developments, and international relations. Very high keyword there, international relations. For example, Fox News has reported on... Yeah, let's see. Example, Fox News has reported on U.S. military deployments and blah, blah, blah. Eastern geopolitics. Yep. It's covered international affairs in the Middle East. Yeah, they just have a blatant tower there. I just need to find out what the name of their fucking tower is. Hold on. Israel. Oh, it's not Israel. Hold on. It's not Israel. It's somewhere in fucking the Middle East, though. What East? Fox News Tower. I need to find out the fucking country that it's in, because I don't want to give misinformation. Let's see. Hold on. Hold on.
AD.
Oops.
Okay.
Let's see here. Oh my god, this goes down fucking... This rabbit hole goes deep as shit. Okay, so... Okay. Okay, so it's technically... Because
it's becoming increasingly more stressful.
Yeah, because it's owned by Disney, it's technically like it's like a third-party fucking company that is owned by BlackRock, that basically runs the headquarters of the New York location of the Fox Corporation. Okay. So they're just literally, because of the, so they're run by the Middle East for some odd reason, but it's just like...
Fucking Disney?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're owned by Disney. Yeah, we've known that for years. Hold on. I just need to figure out which part is, associated with the Middle East. Yeah, there's, a huge fucking thing, rabbit hole that people have gone into already, which is the reason why I found this out in the first place. You know? Because apparently there are, tech companies and shit there. There's so much shit there that, that they just, own. Let's see. The Murdoch family has a long-standing ties to the Middle East, particularly through political and media engagements.
Genuinely, who do I even trust anymore?
Yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. Lincoln Murdoch, CEO of Fox Corporation, recently met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Laden during a secret trip in January 2026. Rupert and Murdoch, the family patriarch, has also expressed strong support for Israeli, calling it a key ally in religion and criticizing anti-Israel sentiment in media circles. Cool, great. Let's see here. He's also a Jewish man. That's no surprise. I don't mean to be I'm not trying to be anti-Semitic. It's just funny that he's also a Jewish guy. Cool. All right. Well, so he literally is like, he's like, yeah, I love the Saudi princes. Yeah, I love everything happening over there. He loves the Saudi prince, and fucking, and he's obviously and he's literally like got ties to Netanyahu. Of
Holy shit.
course. Yeah, of course he does. That makes sense, you know. Of course he's pro our current country. Of course he's pro our current like leaders. Yeah. Unfortunately, now here's the funny thing. I don't think that he's pro our current leaders. I don't think our current leaders are pro like this current Middle Eastern conflict. I just think that certain billionaires and certain leaders have so many, like, literally have like the files, like the fucking like the fucking Epstein files, like just hovering like in front of them every time, like by these other leaders that are like, hey, if you try to dare if you try to dare go anything against XYZ, like XYZ person, then we'll put these out in front of your whole country, and your country will just obliterate you guys. So so obviously, like, you know, because we know kind of how Americans are with when they find out who is the one to cause certain things. Americans love burning shit when we find out who is the cause. If they, like, you know, that's the reason why they're defending, like, why they are trying to make sure that everybody, even both sides, and obviously all of the rich, are being protected, because they recognize if they dare put that shit out, Americans will take care of it. You know, the only reason why, like, a lot of European countries are like, why aren't you guys doing anything about it? Because we don't know who the fuck is in those files. If we knew who was in those files, it would be pretty easy to deal with them. Let's be honest. You know, even the military would be like, I ain't touching that shit. We're not defending pedos. Fuck that. You know, just saying. You know, it's good to have all this fucking power when, you know, when you don't know who is the culprit, right? You know, I do not know. You know, like, obviously we all know that our current, like, the main leader of the United States is not going to be...
When they said he's dead, all I hear was blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly, right? You know. I'm covering my heels like a kid. No, I'm kidding. When your words mean nothing, I go la, la, la. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. I just, like, yeah, these people just straight up, like,
Lol.
yeah, yeah, I mean, you know, these fucking, like, leaders just, like, you know, they're afraid of what clearly the Middle East has, apparently, because Epstein was over there, so probably Epstein was like, I don't know, like, microtransactions and the fucking creator economy is apparently the reason why, why all this shit even exists in the first place. And I think it's hilarious because these guys are like, what do you call it? Because I guarantee you, like, now that Epstein is gone, he's not the one that has like the fucking blackmail. It's clearly the people that are it's clearly the people, and like clearly the leaders in the Middle East. Like, I guarantee you Netanyahu and fucking the Saudi Arabia prince are like, hey, do what we say, or we put out a, like, all of the files, and like your whole country can just, like, can go after everybody that it was the cause of all of the problems in America. Literally everything. Like, for the past fucking 25 years, apparently, which is insane to think about. Like, yeah, all, like, 4chan falling into some racist, anti-Semitic, like, Nazi shit. Yeah, well, guess what? That, like, you know, falling into, like, homophobia and shit. Yeah, that's Epstein that caused that, right? Microtransactions in video games. Yep, that's Epstein's problem. You know, Epstein did that. You know, fucking, like, you know, like religion being, like, put in politics. Epstein did that. Ronald Reagan started that, but Epstein did that. Epstein pushed it. Epstein funded it. Let's see. What else? Let's see. Like, the reason why, fucking, yeah, I don't know. the reason why like uh what else? I'm trying
did
to
everything.
think. Yeah, the reason why like oil companies were able to make a comeback, Epstein did that. Epstein helped with that. You know, the reason why there was like a deal even made with like oil, like the reason why we even got oil from east, like, you know, east, what do you call it? Like the Middle East region, and like the reason why we didn't like advance from oil was literally because Epstein made a deal with made a deal with with the Middle East to be like, hey, can we have your oil? And they said, yeah, sure. And can we have the oil that we steal? Yeah, sure. You know, and all of a fucking sudden, you know, like now oil companies are fucking up, like, you know, up at the highest degree. All the fucking environmental regulations being pulled. Yeah, that was Epstein as well. Like, Epstein did everything. He fucking destroyed everything. Like Fox News, Disney being the #1 entertainment company in the planet, like having the richest entertainment company ever. That was Epstein, you know. Epstein did a lot of crazy shit, dude. And people just want to pretend like you didn't exist, man. Like,
Am I the only one watching?
Probably, yeah. Probably, because I'm talking about Epstein now. You know, Epstein was the most heinous human being on Earth, you know? Like, he talked to a lot of people. He fucking made deals with a lot of people. He fucking, like, he was the worst human being on the planet. And they're trying to, like, downplay him a lot, so, like, because they know that eventually that us, like, they're, you know, they know eventually the Middle East won't, like, you know, won't keep their promise and will just eventually release the files, you know? They know that will happen. They just want the Middle East, that's why, you know? Like, they want certain parts of the Middle East.
One reason, second reason, third reason. I could go on for years even.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Well, that's the thing. They don't want the files released because then, like, because then guess what? Everybody, like, people can come together on, like, the one very thing that Americans are very good at, especially in the United States right now, is coming together to hate pedos. We do not like pedos. We do not like predators. A lot of us try to hold back a little bit before, like, we tell people constantly, it's like, hey, before you accuse people of being a predator or a pedo, like, please have a lot of proof, because there needs to be proof for it. You know, I get the idea, but there has to be proof if somebody is a pedo or a predator. Because that is a very serious accusation. And, like, we all hate them. You know? They are lucky that some of them are alive. Gonna tell you that, you know? Because, I'll tell you one thing, China doesn't, you know, China hangs pedophiles. Anybody that decides to sleep with, like, young girls, like, with, you know, anybody that decides to sleep with, like, teenage, like, 14-year-old girls and 14-year-old boys, yeah, guess what? They hang them. Now, do I think it should be that crazy? No, I think we should put more use with them, and I think we should put them in hard labor. You know? Is that inhumane?
Good job, China.
Right? Like, is that inhumane to say? Yeah, kinda, but, you know, Esmond Garbage wants slaves. That's how you get your slaves. Put all the put all the pedophiles in a hard labor camp and make use out of them. You know? Make them do all the shitty jobs, you know? Make them do all the crazy things, you know? And then the best part, make them, like, you know, have the universal basic income, like,
I think I will get some
come
sleep.
from their pockets. Have SNAP come from their pockets, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but, like, am I evil for that? Probably. But, you know. Okay. I'm gonna end stream, so you're good. Good night.